is a C14 Sports presentation.
Fans, please rise to our April, remove your hats. Performing tonight's national anthem is My Slattery.
Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all of us command. With glory hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Big round of applause.
Maya Slattery gets us going as we welcome you to Cable 14 Friday Night Baseball with the Hamilton Cardinals as they set to take on the Kitchener Panthers. It's back-to-back, the middle of a three-game set, and it's Reed Duthie alongside my broadcast partner Neil Sriwastawa up top. Neil, you were at the game last night when the Cardinals walked away with a 7-4 victory over the Kitchener Panthers. They go again tonight. This is a very MLB-feeling three-game set.
It definitely is, and last night I think was probably the best game the Cardinals have played since the season opener. The most complete game as far as Owen Boone went out the hill. The bats were moving. They were moving to do things on defense they needed to do. They got the job done last night.
Now coming into tonight, this powerful starting rotation for the Cardinals really kicks into gear. Enrique Saldana will have his second start. The Panamanian spent 2 years with the Colorado Rockies, 2 years with the St. Louis Cardinals, and at just 25, he is going to bring a very powerful arm to this Cardinals group.
Well, I got to see it firsthand in the postseason last year when he's playing against the Guelph Royals. That ball moves, and it definitely has a lot of velocity behind it, so it'll be a challenge for the Panthers this evening.
Neil, the schedule is compacting, and we're racing against the weather here tonight.
Yeah, we are.
The game between Chatham-Kent and Barrie has already been postponed.
Yep.
Now, they are underway between Toronto and Brantford. We'll see what happens with Welland and London. We know it's coming. We got to get through 5 to make it official.
Exactly. You got to get through 5, and you got to hopefully have the lead by that time too to go home with the win. So you don't have to come back and pick it up at some point down the road.
Well, and that's exactly what the Cardinals will be wanting as we'll take a look at the batting order for the Kitchener Panthers. And there is potential here to give Saldana some tough moments.
Well, exactly. They got some hitters in this lineup, that's for sure. Rwanto Osawa makes his first start with the Panthers. He did play last night as a pinch runner. Jordan Mandalay is batting second. Giovanni Penavler is batting third. Junior Ibarra is batting fourth. Yosuke Fujui is batting fifth. Charlie Towers, Klaus Alpovich, A.J. Carosa, and Trent Lawson is batting 9. The letter Y is definitely predominant in that heart of the order for the Panthers.
Yeah, forget about sometimes Y. They're making a living on it.
Yep.
As Rwanto Osawa will step in to lead the game off for us. Enrique Saldana working with July Vittini. We'll take a look at the Cardinals' defensive unit after our first batter as Saldana with the look in, and we are underway as Osawa will send the first pitch back for a foul, 0-1. And one thing, Neil, that we'll notice very quickly about Enrique Saldana, like Adames, like Boone, he doesn't take too long to get going.
No, once they get going, they work fast. That's for sure. So the batter's got to be ready.
Way too much As Saldana will look into Vittini. Delivers and gets him swinging through. And very quickly, Enrique Saldana ahead 1-2.
Panthers now lost 5 in a row here, so they're trying to break their streak tonight.
That one runs outside 2-2.
They looked good against the Guelph Royals, and then unfortunately the week after, everything kind of just fell apart for them.
If you look at the standings, Neil, everybody is tightly compacted, following Welland at 12-2, London 10-5, Chatham Kent 8-6, Toronto 7-7, Hamilton 6-6 as Osawa sends this one deep into left field to the warning track to the wall, and that's out of here.
The Panthers once again strike early here in this contest, in this park anyways. Second game in a row, the leadoff batters hit a home run here.
A leadoff home run for Runto Sawa, and Yoki Pena hit the fence hard as he went up to try to bring that one back.
Got somebody checking on him now, and it looks like Duncan's out there too. And
Jonathan Salazzo off third is step back. Osawa. Tremendous for the Panthers to open up and give them the quick 1-0 lead coming off the loss last night. Neil, they couldn't have drawn it up any better than that.
No, exactly. And it was, they got Owen Boone went out there and everything else last night and shut them down. So, I think they're just looking to get on the scoreboard early and often here. Get Saldana off his game.
And now we'll see Jonathan Salazzo jog his way back in. Looks like Yoki Pena in left is all right to keep going.
Well, there's a chain link fence behind those signage out there, so I'm not sure if he realized that or remembered that, and all of a sudden we went up and went, okay, yeah, maybe I just spiked myself on the chain link.
Yeah, it looked like he might have had a chance for the ball, but it just kept on carrying. As Enrique Saldana will open up Jordan Mandalay with a strike. And that one chopped on the ground into foul territory. 0-2 the count. If you're Enrique Saldana, you'd love to get this out quick.
Yep.
And just get everything righted.
One tails outside on him.
What a start in the IPL for Runto Sawa. As this one hit back up the middle, fielded quickly by Brandon Nickel to first to Kakatos, and wasn't able to secure it.
And Nate's giving that one a hit on the infield. Tough play for the shortstop. Yosvani Penalve will be the batter now.
As the right fielder steps in, we'll take a quick look if we can at the Hamilton Cardinals defensive alignment. As it begins in the outfield with Tyler Duncan in center. Yoki Pena's got left. Carlos Dominguez has right field, the former New York Met. Nico Kakatos, Tommy Reyes Cruz, Brandon Nickel, and Jonathan Salazzo in the infield. And your battery is Saldana and Vittini.
Just trying to get on the same page here.
A bunt being laid down, but that's going to hop into foul territory.
As you mentioned just a few minutes ago, there's lots of parity in this league right now. Nobody's really running away with it other than the Jackfish and Majors at the top here, but everybody else is pretty much contending for third.
2 one-run losses last weekend as well for the Cardinals.
Yep.
If not for that, they're
they're probably in third right now.
Yeah, they're chasing down London. So a weekend at any moment here can change things dramatically. As Nico Kakatos, nice backhanded stab. Mandalay was on the run, but he'll get Penalve, and it's one away.
Penalve out retired, 3 unassisted on the putout. Mandalay goes to second on the steal attempt anyways, but it turned into a hit and run. And Ibarra will be the batter now. Does this guy ever take a night off?
No, not that I'm aware of. As Ibarra will step in. Safe to say the premier defensive catcher in the IBL?
I think it wouldn't be a stretch to say otherwise, no.
I don't want to get a phone call from Justin Mara.
Or Robert Mullen either, because it might be some words. What do you mean he's the best one?
So I hesitate on it a little bit,
Yeah.
but we've seen Ibarra in this park just call some unbelievable games.
Well, I was talking to Salazzo before the game today and just saying, hey, maybe keep an eye on Ibarra when you're at the plate here, because he likes to creep on the outside here, and that's how they've been getting you out lately. It's just, trying to pass on some instant information. And Jenny was talking to him last night for the first time. They had never met. I forgot they had never met. So, she...
How is that possible?
I don't know. It just happened. I feel bad because, I'm not able to take her around everything. So.
Oh, Ibarra laces this into left field. Pena is going to come up throwing, looking for the relay home. It's going to pull Vittini off home plate and skip past Vittini. Ibarra up to second. That's going to allow Mandalay to trot home. And a miscue from the Cardinals catcher, which is unusual for Vittini. And Yosuke Fuji will step in with the Panthers mounting a quick 2-0 lead.
I'm sure if they were expecting that one to get cut off or everything, but Vittini didn't seem like he was expecting the ball to come home.
The throw was offline.
Yeah.
And it pulled Vittini up the first baseline.
So likely a single RBI and then an error on the throw that allows Ibarra to go to second base. That would be what my thinking would be anyways.
We will confirm momentarily. There was a lot of things happening on that play, so Nate's got his work cut out for him behind us trying
to get it all in the right way.
That's right.
Point Street's not the easiest program to deal with some nights.
And Fuji caught going around on that swing. I think Ibarra's shoe came undone. So it's 0-2 to Fuji, and Ibarra's shoe
lost the wheel.
It's back together.
Thought McFly might get put into the double duty here.
Yeah.
Little shoe repair on the fly.
Oh, Saldana gets Fuji swinging through that. That's what Saldana was looking for. His first strikeout of the ball game.
Bring our old friend Mr. Charlie Towers to the plate.
As Towers stepping in. 160 to open up the season. That'll go up.
Yep.
As Towers rips that, I didn't mean right now. As Towers sends that through the infield, Tyler Duncan's going to come up with the ball. They're not going to test Duncan's arm, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, third base coach Tom Ibarra to put the brakes on here. And now runners at the corners with 2 away.
Well, remember, we said weather's coming. You got to get through 5 to make it official, but the Panthers getting out to an early lead. Now, at the same time, being where we are, we'll see if that storm ever actually gets to us.
Well, exactly. It might just blow past us because it's done that in the past.
It has. Number of nights that you and I have sat here, and there's been lightning off in the distance, and
nothing, not a speck here.
No.
Mind you, the second we got to our cars, it downpoured like crazy, but yeah.
That's happened.
Yeah, that's happened.
I remembered a jacket this week, and it's 30-something degrees.
I brought one in the car because, I felt like I was frozen by the last game. So it was like, yeah, we're not doing that again. You can stay in the car.
I had a windbreaker, and I was frozen. This ball on the ground is short. Nickel up with it to Kakatos at first. And Applovich retired. That will retire the side. Cardinals will look to put it back together defensively, but they'll get the bats back in their hands, stealing a chance to recapture a little momentum as Saldana heads off to the dugout.
Not the start the Cardinals were expecting, that's for sure, but they'll have to deal with it. Of course, it was exactly a week ago the Panthers had 2 outs in the inning with Evan Elliott on the hill, and the London Majors scored 5 times. So stranger things could happen with the former Blue Jay prospect on the hill now.
As Evan Elliott will step in for the Kitchener Panthers for tonight's game. And Elliott will face off with a dangerous Cardinals batting order, Neil, that we'll take a look through. It hasn't quite caught that fire yet, but when you look at the names in it and their history in the IBL or their history in affiliated ball, you know it's just a matter of time.
Oh, exactly. You got Tyler Duncan leading things off, and then you got Brandon Nickel at second base. You got Carlos Dominguez. Nico Kakatos is in the 4 spot. Yoki Pena is moved up to 5. Jalen Brown is batting in the 6 spot. Salazzo's back in the 7 spot after batting last night in the 8th spot. Working out his funks as far as down in the bottom half. July Vittini and then Tommy Reyes Cruz is in the 9 spot tonight.
Yeah, you talk about Jonathan Salazzo hitting down in that 7 spot, 171 thus far on the season. We know that that's going to correct.
Yeah. And, we tried to remind him last night, and what I reminded him was just when I saw him before the game and everything, hey, just relax, have some fun playing baseball, man. Like, look at the kids on the kids' faces when they see you come to the plate.
Exactly.
Enjoy those things, man. Enjoy those things.
Well, and you almost wonder, he and Tyler Duncan, we know Tyler Duncan has gotten off to slow starts in the past as well.
Yep.
You almost wonder the two of them being in the lineup together, if that almost got into their heads a little bit.
I think a little bit, and it's just, they're trying with Johnny's situation, everything else, new team, everything else, and a lot of expectations on this team. He just feels like he's not doing his part. But, Johnny, you showing up every night is doing your part. You being a great teammate to these guys is doing your part.
Yeah, that leadership quotient that he brings, it can't be measured. And that's exactly what they brought him here for. Beyond the bat, more so than the bat and the defense at third base, is what Jonathan Salazzo brings to that dugout and that clubhouse.
Yeah.
And if you think in the long run it's not going to make this man, the former MVP, a better hitter to be working day in, day out with Jonathan Salazzo, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
As Duncan steps in 233 to open up the season, and that number has been on the climb.
Elliott comes into action, 1-1 record, a 6.42 ERA, 4 starts, 21 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts, 12 walks. He's given up 26 hits on the season. So, yeah, again, it was just the majors sticking the bat out in the first inning on Friday's contest.
And they get a first pitch strike on Duncan. As you said earlier, Neil, it's been a little feast or famine for the Kitchener Panthers so far on the season. This is a reworked lineup from what it looked like a couple of years ago.
That it is.
As Duncan sends that back up the middle, a nice grab from Elliott, who will jog that over to first. And the quick toss to Klaus Appelvich will retire Duncan. Take a look at the defensive rotation for the Kitchener Panthers. And it opens in the outfield where you've got Runto Osawa with Trent Lawson left and Yosvani Penalve in right field. To the infield, Klaus Appelvich, Charlie Towers, and Yosuke Fuji on the bases. Jordan Mandalay has short, and Evan Elliott working with Junior Ibarra as the battery.
The first pitch in there for Nickel is this a called strike on the inner half.
Southern Arkansas superstar hitting 244 coming in. If you wonder why he has that nickname, you just saw it as he sends it to right field and gone.
I'm liking this guy's swing. I'm absolutely liking this guy's swing.
Brandon Nickel sends it over the right field fence. And just like that, the lead is cut in half. What a shot from Nickel. Another member of the Cardinals lineup you might have to start pitching around.
Yep. He got one in the zone and made no doubt about that one. Elliott kind of knew right off the bat, too.
And Neil, his numbers in the NCAA were comical for Brandon Nickel.
PlayStation-esque.
Yes. As Carlos, speaking of guys who've had comical numbers, Carlos Dominguez is going to step in. The former farmhand of the New York Mets. And a 1-1 count from Elliott. And Dominguez stepping right into the 3-hole in this lineup.
And finds himself behind the count at 1-2 now. As Elliott just, toes the rubber and it gets pretty much ready to go again. Cardinals have to be ready for that.
Yeah, no wasted time or motion. Dominguez puts this one on the ground, charged from third, pulled him off the bag.
That's an infield single on the play, a tough play by Yusuke Fuji on the attempt to get it across the diamond in time. The ball just kind of died on that second bounce.
Yeah, Fuji to get that over to Appelvich that tight was impressive. Take another look at what Neil was talking about. You see here is Dominguez is going to beat this out with Appelvich getting pulled off the bag, but was that second bounce, as you mentioned, to Fuji that just didn't give him a chance. Nico Kakatos hitting .400 coming into the game tonight. Pretty good start to your IBL career.
Indeed.
Kakatos able to hold up there, which will run 1-1. So Brandon Nickel already with an answer to the 2 runs on the board for the Panthers in the first inning. Carlos Dominguez, who's a speedster, over at first base. Kakatos would just love to put this into play and let Dominguez do what he does.
There's definitely somebody on the infield whistling. I heard it last night, too, and it was just like I was trying to figure out which one it was.
I just heard it.
So I'm not hearing things.
No. Our mics definitely picked that up. Unless there's a bird sitting on top of a mic somewhere.
I don't think that's the case. Pretty sure the bird's probably going, what the heck's this thing here?
Who's calling me? Dominguez is on his way to second. Ibarra not in time.
Ibarra just let that one release and it kind of curved away towards the third base side, not where he intended to throw it.
Dominguez with great jump.
Now in scoring position with one away.
And the guy at the plate's hitting .400.
A big hole on the right side now.
And he walks Nico Kakatos, does Evan Elliott. Yoki Pena will step in. And the numbers for Pena have been on the rise, now hitting .300 on the season.
He's starting to feel more comfortable at the plate. You can just see it. You can see it in the London game on Sunday, and you saw it again last night when he was starting to really put a charge into the baseball.
Those games in Chatham, Kent, and London last weekend were just heartbreakers.
They were tough.
2 games that the Cardinals very easily could say we deserved better. It's tough because you don't feel so great about it in the moment, but you come out of that weekend 1-2, but easily could have been 3-0.
Well, exactly. You know, it's just you get a timely hit here and there, which they weren't able to do until like the later stages against the majors.
And the London team is pretty darn good.
They are, despite what Rip will tell you on the phone. Put us 7th in the rankings, please. Put us 7th.
I don't think so.
I don't think so anymore. I'm going to write back. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe anymore.
As Elliott winds and delivers, Pena tries to reach out, and he got him swinging.
Elliott trying to settle himself down and settle down the offense here for the Cardinals. 2 away now.
Up to the plate, the designated hitter, number 6, Jaden Brown.
Speaking of guys whose numbers are on the rise, Jaden Brown up to .308 on the year.
I didn't even look at how he hit the home run last night. I just knew off the crack of the bat it was gone.
Watching it back, it was, the sound of it you knew.
It was just how he hits the baseball when he's on. It's loud.
Well, it goes right back to preseason. We saw him lace those 2 or 3 into right field that just sounded like a cannon went off. As he swings with the intention to take it out of the park.
2 hits so far in the inning so far, guys and gals. They're asking in the truck.
As the ball's going to run to the inside. 1-1. Panthers scattered 4 hits in their portion of the first inning. Dominguez dancing over at second base, and he's got Evan Elliott's eyes. And Dominguez is off to third, but Brown chops that foul. Carlos Dominguez is going to cause pitchers some nightmares. As Jaden Brown looks to reset 1 and 2. Evan Elliott 1 strike away from getting out. And 2 home runs already in the ballgame. I don't remember the last time we had 2 home runs in the first inning.
Not too often, that's for sure.
Runto Sal with the leadoff home run for the Panthers, and then Brandon Nickel, the two-hitter for the Cardinals. Brown fouls that one back, and that hammered off the fence in behind home plate. And I don't think that ball's going to be a whole lot of use.
No, that one looks like it's going into somebody's hands as a souvenir, or definitely into the bullpen bucket.
I would think so.
Still trying to figure out the one a couple weeks ago when off Ibarra's helmet and split in half.
Oh.
Hey, you missed a fun one that night.
How did Ibarra stay in? Or even
It clipped the top, and it wasn't wasn't directly off the top. It was just.
Well, Ibarra and Dominguez having a battle, and as Ibarra wanted to throw, the ball just jumbled out of his hand to a 2-2 count.
They obviously have some history somewhere.
Ibarra's going to go back to the dugout and say, just don't let this guy on anymore.
Yep.
He's driving me nuts. If you're Jaden Brown, you're thinking, good, focus on Dominguez, don't focus on me.
Hang me a curveball, please.
Elliott with the look in. He'll set and deliver. And did not get the call he wanted. Full count to Jaden Brown.
It's going to have the runners in motion on the pitch now.
Ooh, that's a tough one if you're Evan Elliott to have go against you. Heck of an eye by Jaden Brown to be able to lay off that. The 3-2. Brown swings through it, and Evan Elliott gets out of the jam. We're through one inning. The Hamilton Cardinals trail the Kitchener Panthers by a 2-1 score in a game that looks like it's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. And speaking of a lot of fun, July 20th, the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game comes to Bernie Arbor. Take a look.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com. Because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Neil, how excited are you for that?
I am very, very excited, because last year and everything else, they had to miss the actual without the home run derby, they had to, make a mad dash somewhere else to get taken care of. But yes, after that, so we missed the All-Star Game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not doing anything silly. We're going to avoid hot dogs. We're going to avoid everything that could possibly go wrong. We're going to eat celery sticks up if we have to. We're going to do it.
You will be up here with me so long as everything goes well with my jaw in the next week.
Yeah, we're praying for that. We're going, well, how's this going to work? Is he going to be drinking from a straw? Is his jaw going to be wired shut?
I'll be all right. In fact, I'm planning to be back very quickly. July 4th,
Fingers
Alpha
crossed.
1 Wrestling will be here for the Hamilton Cardinals. And Neil, I really don't want to miss that.
Please don't miss that, because I'm going to be lost without you.
Those games are so much fun when we get wrestling at Bernie Arbor Stadium, and I'm still under the impression there's going to be a wrestling ring actually built.
I am looking forward to that.
Somewhere in this ballpark.
I've never actually been in one of those wrestling rings. I want to go in it just to see how bad the ropes are, and I don't want to get thrown off them. I don't want to get thrown through a table.
You'll be all right.
Like, I don't want to have a CJ incident here, but I want to have an opportunity to go stand in the ring and go, wow, how do these guys do this?
AJ Carosis will be the DH. Well, we can do you one better. The reigning alpha male champion, who I understand is defending his title here that night, my best bud, BMD, he said he'll come up here and sit with us for an inning if we'd like to have him.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
I told him to bring the gold.
That'd be fun.
He's a great guy. He might try to sneak a Molson Canadian, though. That's usually his thing up here. I told him you're going to have to get on the lager shed.
Well, he's going to have to get on the lager shed. We're going to have to worry about the sponsors being mad at us.
No, I already took care of that. He's fine with that.
Yep.
He understands. You got to make the sponsors happy. He knows. He's a corporate guy.
Yep.
Runs a Twitch stream. He knows he's got to make the sponsors happy.
Nice. We'll have to definitely follow him on Twitch, too. Carosa last night a triple and a single before being lifted for a pinch runner.
And Saldana ran that one low, 3-1.
A triple in Jack Couch Park is kind of unheard of. So it's just kind of like, yeah, okay. You got a triple last night.
So how did the physics of that, did he pinball it?
I think it was to right center, and it just kind of took off.
As Saldana will lose Carosas to the walk, and that'll bring up Trent Lawson. Thinking of like a triple in Fenway when you send it into
in the
center,
corner or
it gets
something.
into that alley there.
Off the garage door or something out there. That's Junior Felix Grand Slam territory.
Oh, garage door. Yeah, that was a game against the Rays last week, and 2 hits back-to-back into the garage door. And I felt so bad for Jaron Durant. He's out there. He can play the monster as good as anybody I've seen out there. But when it goes to the garage doors, well, now what do I do?
Well, exactly, because it's so unpredictable.
Luckily, Greg Weissert got out of it. Saldana delivers, and that one, off July Vittini.
Not sure it went off the mask or the chest protector. That was definitely a loud whatever.
I'm going to say...
We might get the replay, I'm not sure.
I'm going to say chest protector because he put everything back together fairly quickly.
Yeah. No.
Saldana will set quickly. Winding and delivering, and that one's going to run low 1-1. Just the second start for Saldana as a member of the Cardinals. First one went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. That was against Chatham Kent.
Including that home run to Robert Mackey, the difference in the ballgame.
Really looks like he's just trying to get set with his catcher, with his new teammates. Cardinals have the potential to have as good of a rotation as anybody in the IBL with Boone, Saldana, and Adames all together. And we know what the back end of the bullpen can do.
Yeah, they did a great job last night, too.
I mean, and it's not, you got Fernando Rodney, but it's not just Rodney, and it's not just Corbin Peters from last year.
It was the whole core last night. It was like, you had Soroski go out for an inning, you had Connor Corey go out. Yeah, he got a little roughed up in the 9th inning, but it was like, you know what? They went out and pitched a great inning.
You got Hospital back there. We've seen him. Oh, nice strikeout there looking from Saldana on the outside portion of the plate.
Second strikeout in the contest for Saldana. That spike is filling up yet again.
Runto Osawa will step in. Take another look at this one. Oh, great frame, too, from Vittini.
Yep, exactly where we wanted it. Let's bring up Osawa, who homered his first time up.
And fires this one foul.
The man has no fear.
Runto Osawa fell behind 1-2 to open up the ball game and ended up homering after battling the count back. So clearly the Cardinals know that they're going to have to be weary of this young man.
Indeed.
Saldana delivers. Doesn't get the outside edge that time.
Thinking that was in the Eder batter's box, but that's about all I can think of because where Vittini caught that one.
Looked like it tailed away late.
Yeah.
Saldana with a look into Vittini. It is a very humid night, so you might see the pitchers at times just having to take a second to catch their breath as Osawa rips this one into left field.
He can definitely swing the sticks, that's for sure.
So Osawa, the home run and a single in this ball game.
She's a double and a triple now.
What a find he is clearly for these Kitchener Panthers.
Stepping up to the plate, shortstop number 20, Jordan Mandalay.
Jordan Mandalay steps in. He had a single and came all the way around to score. As runners on first and second with one away. Saldana delivers. Doesn't get the edge that time either.
Getting used to the new phone. Had to figure out where the silent button was. Like, I'm hearing it dinging still. Why is it still dinging? I'm not Buck Martinez. Go away.
It's always the way with the new phone, right? And you got to figure out. Oh, wait. It's not the same button anymore.
No, I'm like looking around, going, where the heck is the button?
Why do they change them? Why did?
Because Apple likes to make people like me mad.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Like I held on to my iPhone 12 till I very, very much had to turn it in.
Ball rolls past Nichols' reach, and that's going to bring Carosis around to score, and it's an RBI single for Mandalay.
Pair of hits on the contest for Mandalay now.
And the Panthers restore the 2-run lead.
Stepping up to the plate, right fielder number 60.
Nickel nearly came up with that as Penalve will step in. You know, I've had MacBooks now for years.
Yep.
No two MacBooks have ever had the same charger.
No. Well, I had before my 12, I had my iPhone 7 for, I think, 7 years.
Yeah, I got to be going on something like, I got something X.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get rid of it. It works just fine.
The only reason I replaced it is because the Rogers rep was in and it's saying, okay, half your staff in this area are eligible for upgrades. And I'm like, oh, man, don't say that out loud. And you see all the heads poke out of offices. Oh, cool, great.
Yeah, suddenly all the people who couldn't hear you 10 minutes earlier just say, hey, wait, what'd you say?
Upgrades? No.
That time Saldana gets an outside edge.
Just give me a phone that, I can dial. Whatever else. Doesn't have to have all the fancy apps and everything else. But
as long as it doesn't have a rotary dial, right?
No, don't want that. I'm not that old-fashioned.
I learned how to use one at my grandparents' house when I was little. It was fun.
I could tell you stories about some people in Guelph about those things.
Saldana winds and delivers, and Penalve will fire this one up and out. We took some of the Bulldogs players to the Bell Homestead in Brantford.
Yep.
And, the guys were looking at me like a dog at a high-pitched noise. I'm playing around with the
the
rotary dial. How do you know how to use that? Even the people working the thing, how do you know how to use it?
Was the old pencil trick or was the pinky finger?
Pinky finger. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
All the way around.
Now, Billy Craven, who used to be the former president of the baseball in Guelph, who ran the Guelph Royals and everything else, I swear his house was the last one in Guelph with rotary dial phones. When he finally passed, Bell was like, you know what? We're so happy we finally can get rid of these things.
I'm not giving up the rotary dial.
No, but he had him all over in the house. there had to be one. There was one downstairs, and at least 3 up. One in the kitchen, and at least 2 upstairs. Because it was everything. He would always call me on it. It's like he hated the fact he had to drive. He would call the operator at the university because he wasn't going to. There's no way you can put an extension on a rotary dial phone. Come on. So he'd have to call the operator. It got to the point where the running joke was the operator would pick up, Mr. Craven for you.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Saldana went to look into Penalve, and that'll run low 2-2.
I can still remember the sound.
Oh, yeah. There was something fun about them, right? I wouldn't want to use one on a regular basis.
No.
There's just something fun about them.
I can think about all the advancements we've had on those phones and phone technology since then. Like, how would you do call display? You can't do there's no call display. There's no call forwarding. You can't do last call return because there's no star.
Can't enter an extension number.
Nope.
Saldana.
But there was a pound sign on it somehow.
Yeah, I've never quite understood how. I should have asked my grandparents how that worked. I wasn't quite sure on that one. Saldana was staring back to second where Osawa is lurking. A wind and deliver, and Penalve shoots that one foul. It stays 2-2. My mom is a teacher. Until they pretty much made her, was still using her typewriter for report cards.
Wow.
Until they finally said, no, you got to use a computer. She did not want to use a computer.
That was me in grade 9. All my science projects for Mr. Roberts. All were hand-typed.
There you go.
Only kid in the class that had typewritten science notes.
And now from the lady who wouldn't use a computer, she's ordering pizza from her iPad. Oh, Penalve got caught looking. Big strikeout there for Saldana.
She's ordering pizzas. She's embraced technology and probably learns it better than you and I can now.
Well, that's the thing, right? She's on the Instagram now. She's got the, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to meet your parents.
Oh, you'll love them. They're a riot. My mom is what would have happened if Betty Boop had come to life.
Great. Now I'm not gonna have that picture in your head. You're gonna introduce to her. I'm going. He doesn't do you justice.
That's so many people. I just go with that now when I try to describe her because so many people have said that to me.
Yeah. She's probably listening at home going, I'm going to kill that boy.
No. She's too positive for that.
Okay.
I just won't get pizza next time she orders it on the iPad.
Okay. Yeah. No pizza for you.
Yeah.
Betty Boop said no.
She made cupcakes for her own birthday. They were.
Oh, man.
Oh. The chocolate filling with the blue icing. Oh,
yeah. I got mad at the younger teenager because she ordered her sister's birthday cake. I'm like, I was planning on doing it the next Saturday morning, like the Saturday morning.
Already done.
Yeah, I'm like, but I was gonna do it. So there's cake mix in the cupboard doing nothing now.
Ibarra sends this one into left center field. That's gonna score Osawa. Duncan's over to get it. On the way around is Mandalay. He's gonna score as well. And the Kitchener Panthers are off and running after the 2 RBI double from Junior Ibarra.
Ibarra picks up his 3rd RBI of the night, his 2nd hit, and a single to go with the double now. And that's going to prompt the mound visit from Luis Bernardo here, just checking on his pitcher. 5-1 is the score now.
A tough start here for Enrique Saldana. As Ibarra sent that all the way back to the fence. And the Cardinals are going to have some work to do both in the field and with the bats. As Osawa comes around to score along with Mandalay. And I would say a little bit unexpected to start the night, Neil. I don't think we thought it'd be 2 and 3 runs against in the first 2 innings.
No, I don't think I was expecting that at all. In fact, if anything, I was expecting a very quiet, more contested ball game going into later stages tonight. After last night's full-on effect from both teams.
Panthers want that win back. They want to get this 3-game set evened. Obviously, it's the way it worked out with the scheduling and having to go back and forth on cancellations. But Jack Couch Park, Bernie Arbor Stadium, Jack Couch Park.
Yeah.
It's going to feel like Groundhog Day. Saldana works ahead 0-2.
I have to remind Jenny, we're not going to Bernie tonight. We're going to Jack Couch tomorrow. Yeah, we're going there. Dinner at your parents in the afternoon, then Kitchener, not Brantford, not the Brantford extra. We're not going to Hamilton.
Don't go that way. I mean, you could come here, but you're not going to see anything.
No.
1-2 the count.
And they were nice enough to ask if we were interested in doing the games because Mark's actually busy doing the Guelph game tomorrow night. So, and he was actually working yesterday for Guelph today. So we filled in on a pinch.
Saldana delivers. The only problem for Mark's schedule, he's got the whole thing color-coded.
Mm-hmm.
He knows when he's where. Rainouts.
Yeah, well, I know.
And when they make up games. Now you've got Mark in a pretzel.
Well, exactly. And he was just like, you can only be in so many places at once. If it was an afternoon game, he probably would have done both tomorrow. But it's not. It's a night game. It's a 7 o'clock start tomorrow.
I think he's probably trying to figure out how to clone himself. In which case, we're all in trouble.
Uh-huh.
Saldana delivers and doesn't get the outside there either. Ooh, Enrique Saldana's had a couple of those in this ball game in the first 2 innings that he probably would like to have.
And sometimes the umpires would say, well, you got to earn it too, so.
Full count to Fuji, and he's going to lose him on the walk. And that's going to bring Charlie Towers back in.
Towers 1 for 1 with a single as we were talking about his name and everything else. He must have definitely heard us, and he hit a liner up the middle.
And Saldana's pitch count is elevating quickly.
As we saw last night with Andy Vargas, the really long innings get him in early.
Yeah, 47 pitches for Saldana. As he delivers to Tower and gets him swinging for strike 1. Not something that we've seen a lot of, at least in the games that I've done is long relief for the Cardinals. It's mainly been starters going 6.
Oh, exactly.
Saldana runs that outside. 1-1.
Of course, for the Cardinals, you're realizing, okay, this is only game 2 of 4 on the weekend, and it's 8 and 11 days over the next little stretch here, too. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, we kind of want you guys to go 5 or 6, maybe 7.
Yeah. Saldana gets Towers looking at that one, 1-2. Saldana trying to get himself out of it. 3 runs have come across here in the top of the second. Saldana has the check back. Ibarra at second and ran that one low, 2-2. Not far enough for Ibarra to try Vittini.
No. You'd have to get pretty much behind him at the backstop before Ibarra takes off from second base.
Oh, the way Ibarra's hitting, he doesn't need to steal anything extra.
No.
He's doing just fine for himself.
That he is.
The 2-2. Towers puts it on the ground. Nickel backhands it to Salazzo at third. And the Cardinals will end the top of the second inning. Neil, they've got some work ahead of them.
That they do. They're down by 4 now here as they head to the home half of the second inning. And again, it's just, the Panthers came out tonight, probably went to a man wanting to do better than they did last night. As far as the bats and everything else going, the bats were pretty solid against Owen Boone for, I would say, the 5 2/3 of an inning. They got the 1 hit in the first inning, but after that, it was pretty much Boone's just going out there and throwing strikes, strikeouts, ground balls, till the 6th inning when they got a run back.
Chris Piano was just having a conversation with the home plate umpire. I'm not sure what that was in reference to. Might have been the pitches that Saldana and Vittini wanted.
Yep. Bernardo's now pointing at the bullpen to get some guys loose here, so maybe Saldana's on a very short leash here too.
Well, you can't let this game get too much further away.
You can't.
As Evan Elliott has come into this ball game with an inflated ERA on the season. He's given up a home run, and the Cardinals stranded 2 runners in that first inning. This very easily could be a 5-3, 5-4 game right now if Elliott hadn't pitched himself out of the trouble.
Exactly.
So you've gotta try to keep this one as tight as possible and battle your way back into the ball game.
Yep.
Jonathan Salazzo lead off, followed by July Vittini and Tommy Reyes Cruz. We'll see if they can battle their way back in. As Junior Ibarra gets the catcher's gear back on. Ibarra had a bit of a tough luck play there. He was the man that was out on the jog to third, then had to jog back to the dugout.
Get the gear back on and jog back to the plate. And by the way, you got to go catch now.
At least there's a bit of a breeze now. Earlier on today, that would have been in just dead air.
Oh, exactly. And the weather's going to definitely climb as we're now into the dog days of summer almost here, so yes.
Yes, the official start of summer tomorrow. By next week, it's going to be in the mid-40s with humidity.
Ugh.
Like, no happy medium. Last week we're freezing up here.
Yeah, no, exactly. Now we're going back to 40s. So once the air conditioning and the fans are up.
Like, come on. Like, we can't just get, like a nice like a 28.
Yeah.
Right?
22, 23, 24, somewhere in there is fine. Anything higher than that, it's just like, okay, we're going to melt.
Fair. It's where you buy the soft-sided pool and stick it on your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Stick your feet in. As Elliott delivering to Salazzo. 1-0. My mom watches the 2 little guys on Tuesday, so she's bringing out a soft-sided pool she can put on our deck. Just have the boys out for a little bit, just splashing around.
I used to pick one up every May from Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
They'd have the May 2-4 weekend sale, and, get the rectangular one that would fit on the back deck. And it's not, it's not that deep. It's maybe 2 feet deep or something else, but the kids would just love it.
Yeah. Oh, heck, I'll sit in it. I'll just go out.
Oh, yeah, I would go out there with them, just sit in the thing.
Yeah. Salazzo back up the middle. And that one's going to skip off Towers' glove. And the Cardinals have a leadoff base runner.
It's not the prettiest hit, but it's going to count on the score sheet anyways. And then you look down at Salazzo, and he's feeling much more relaxed right now. The monkey is off his back, the weight's off his shoulders, and Johnny's back to liking baseball again.
July Vittini will step in, hitting 167 on the season. And he'll swing that one foul on the first pitch. Vittini would love to shake it off a little bit here and move Salazzo along. Start a bit of an early rally. Elliott delivers. That one runs inside, 1-1. Tommy Reyes Cruz is on deck. He has been a very pleasant surprise for the Cardinals.
That he has been.
Late signing to the team, but he's been everything they could have asked for. Has really earned himself an everyday spot. That one comes in low, 2-1.
So the out-of-town scoreboard is no score in London. The Forest City Cobra Chickens tonight making their debut against the Welland Jackfish. Scoreless in the top of the third inning. Victor Payano taking on Theodoro Ortega in that contest.
Oh, there's a pitching matchup.
Yeah, that's quite the duel. Over in Brantford, it is the Maple Leafs 2-1 over the Brantford Red Sox. That one is in the top of the fifth inning. And, of course, Chatham Kent and Barrie got rained out. Game one of a three-game series is now a doubleheader on Sunday and a single game tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sunday's supposed to be hot, too, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the day where it really climbs.
Stay hydrated, guys, and, well, I know the Baycats missing two guys out of their lineup because it's the other guy's bachelor party this weekend.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So Mr. Rio and Mr. Otter, once again, gallivanting in gosh knows where. And, they're having fun.
How did those two guys time that up so well?
I don't know, but they just do. So they're missing the big weekend up in Chatham Kent.
As July Vittini will take the walk, and it's runners on first and second for Tommy Reyes Cruz.
Cruz in this situation is probably just going to try to move these guys around any way you can. You might see a bunt here, depending where Fuji decides to play in, but he's on the edge of the grass right now, anticipating that.
And Junior Ibarra is sending out the instructions. I think Fuji was sensing the bunt.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to happen in this situation. Pulls it back, throw down the second, and they almost got Salazzo on the back pick.
Ibarra was right on the money with that toss.
The conductor will take a couple more steps closer to the bag next time.
Yeah, especially with the third baseman creeping in on a bunt.
Yeah.
Mandalay with that little backswing as he tried to catch him. Not quite. 1-0 to Reyes Cruz. And that'll run 2-0. Advantageous spot here for Tommy Reyes Cruz.
Yeah, Mandalay relaying signs to Ibarra. Hey, we might have a chance at third here on this bunt.
And that one outside again. Now 3-0 to Reyes Cruz.
Elliott's calling out Ibarra on this pitch too. Maybe so there's a little cross up here in the infield's coming in too, by the looks of it.
Or at least Mandalay anyway.
Is that the hold music?
What? Mandalay and Elliott are having some sort of conversation there. Is that somebody's ringtone?
No, it's Josh having fun with the...
Oh, is it Josh back here? Of course it's Josh. I should have known.
Oh my God, it's like, sounds like hold music. Or elevator music.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, is somebody on a helpline? Like this?
Thank you for calling whatever.
And Tommy Reyes Cruz is going to walk the bases full with no one out, and Tyler Duncan coming up to the plate.
Not the guy you want coming up with the bases loaded in this situation. And, one swing of the bat, and it's a 5-5 ball game.
Yeah, this is certainly not the spot that Evan Elliott wanted to be in.
Salazzo at third, Vittini at second base, and Tommy Reyes Cruz at first. So,
with Reyes Cruz the man at first, anything into an outfield gap is going to score 3.
Yeah. If it gets down in the grass out there, it's 3 home.
And Elliott's going to get that one on the outside edge. Yikes.
Ibarra just does a great job. He does his homework with these hitters because he knows what he's got to do with especially the top hitters in this league.
I agree, but that can't be a strike.
No.
And Duncan shot that one foul behind him, and I think it clipped Ibarra on the way back.
Yeah, he's going to new baseball, and he's not liking the picks on the baseball, and the umpire throwing every baseball he's got in there, just give him a couple more seconds to catch his breath and make sure he's okay.
Yeah, and really, Neil, the problem that I have with that first strike on that, it missed.
It missed.
It gave him the outside edge. Saldana doesn't get it in the top of the inning. Elliott's not getting it until Duncan comes up with the bases loaded.
Yep.
That's a tough spot to change the zone. As Duncan puts this one on the ground, bit of a squeeze play, and everybody's safe with Salazzo home.
Whoever cut the grass in here needs a raise. That's 2 baseballs that Fuji's unfortunately come up empty-handed here because whoever did the lawn maintenance today did an outstanding job of it.
Here comes Brandon Nickel. Home run in the first inning. And he looks at the bases loaded with nobody out.
An infield single with the RBI for Duncan.
Yeah, Fuji came charging up. He just had no chance at it. And Elliott opens up. Nickel to the inside.
The only place he could have gone with it at home, but unfortunately, Salazzo was already crossing the plate by then.
Yeah, Fuji had no choice. He just kind of had to eat that one. 5-2 now. And suddenly Nickel, who just got plunked to bring home Vittini. Nickel represents the go-ahead run as Vittini will cross on the hit by pitch. 5-3 with no one out, the bases loaded. How the game changes.
That it is. Still nobody away now. Dominguez is now the batter.
And Carlos Dominguez, if he'd like to make a bit of an impact with his new teammates, has a massive opportunity right here. And Nickel rips that up the line. Reyes Cruz crosses. Duncan's on his horse. Throw into third. Tie ball game. 2 RBI double from Carlos Dominguez.
Dominguez hit that one right down the line. Fuji had no chance at all to get that baseball. Cardinals knew it, and it went down the line, and, of course, everybody got their jets going.
Well, Reyes Cruz, you knew was coming home. Duncan, for his size, is just an incredible athlete.
He runs like a gazelle out there. Nickel now at third, Dominguez at second. Cardinals not done, still nobody away in this inning.
And Nico Kakatos has an opportunity to give the Cardinals the lead.
Gatorade or something.
And Elliott having all kinds of trouble finding the plate. As Kakatos will let him throw strike one. Neil, this is one of the wackiest first 2 innings that you and I have had. As Kakatos sends this into right field, it'll be caught. Runner's going to advance. Nickel crosses. Cardinals lead. Dominguez to third with 1 away. RBI on the sac fly for Kakatos.
I think the Cardinals have got the bats going after last night's adventures and Jack Couch, and they've responded here in big ways tonight. Not willing to let the Panthers come in here and spoil their fun.
Well, and that hit by pitch to Nickel
hurts.
Really hurt. That really hurt Evan Elliott as Yoelqui Pena steps in. One away with a man on third, and Pena skies this one into foul territory.
A little early on that one. Slazoed off this inning with a single. Bettini walked. Reyes-Cruz walked. Duncan with a single RBI. Nickel got hit by the pitch, and then Dominguez cleared the bases here, and Pena gets a charge into this one.
Into deep center field. It'll be caught, but it's another sac fly RBI as Dominguez crosses. It's a 6-run inning for the Cardinals.
Just what the doctor ordered. The Cardinals have got the bats going, and now, they put up a 6th spot. When was the last time you could say that in the same sentence?
It's been a bit.
Hitter number 6, Jaden Brown.
Jaden Brown will step in with 2 away, and the Cardinals about to
bat around.
Yeah.
9 batters to the plate, 6 runs across. 5 in this inning.
No, 6 now.
6 now.
Yeah, on the sac fly.
That's right. Math's hard tonight.
That happened quickly, though.
Yeah. There, now we're filled in.
And Carlos Dominguez, the newest member of the Hamilton Cardinals, the man that really put the charge into this crowd with that 2 RBI single. And that one will bounce in and caught the ump.
Ouch. I'm just going to need a couple seconds here.
It's been a bit of a tough inning for everybody.
Trainer coming out to see how he's doing, and he's just going to walk it off and, off the hand.
Oh.
Fingers, I think.
Yeah, that is not fun.
Well, Mr. Brownlee won't be playing golf tomorrow morning. Unless he's got an ice pack on or something.
I'm sure they'll get him an ice pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He's going for, actually, I think that's where the trainer's actually going right now. Let's get him some water, too.
Yeah, and Jonathan Salazzo coming out to lend a hand. As we got another look at it here, ball comes down in the dirt. Oh,
yeah. Ouch.
jeez. I mean, there's nothing great about that. Is where his hand was right next to a very sensitive area.
Yeah,
And it
the
got
hand took the brunt of it.
Yeah. And yeah, the training staff from both sides.
And the trainer's got the Insta freeze here.
That stuff is great.
Wish they had that when I was growing up.
No kidding.
Said the Rub A535 and the Absorbing Juniors and everything else in the world that used to just stink to high heaven.
Yes.
And whatever the trainer for the Guelph Royals used to have in that bag, it was just like, wow, what is this stuff? But it's like, it came in a little bottle. It looked like, I don't know, whatever. This definitely wasn't from Canada. That's what I put it that way.
If you have to ask, you don't want to know.
No. It smelled awful, but dang, it worked.
Generally, the way that stuff goes, the more it stinks, the better it feels. I might smell like a skunk, but my back doesn't hurt.
No, I can move around again.
We'll see how this goes. Is clearly, yeah, they're still having trouble with the hand there. Home plate umpire took that ball on the bounce.
Yeah.
Right up to the hand.
And that was more instinct than anything. He was probably just trying to deflect it out of his way.
Just hope that nothing doesn't have a broken finger or anything.
Here we go. Get the replay one more time here. Oh, like right off the knuckle. I think that we're gonna have an umpire is gonna change some wardrobe here, and Mr. Brownlee will
Give a big round of applause for Ray Brownlee.
be exiting the ball game here. Get him looked at, and I'm sure Mr. Brownlee will be back on the field very soon. I'll send him a text message later on.
Yeah, that's just real unfortunate.
He's had some rough luck this year. His first year back, and it's like, okay, he got run over in Kitchener, and now he gets hit off the hand
Right,
here.
yeah. He's never going to do another Kitchener game.
He's going to say, no, don't schedule the Panthers, please. And I'm sure his wife's down here, too, probably give him heck when he comes off the field.
And, Evan Elliott's going to feel worse than anybody about that. And
it's nothing he could have done there.
No,
the ball slipped out of his hand. He threw it in the dirt, and umpire's hand was unfortunately right there.
And fluky to get past Junior Ibarra, too, who tracked it all the way in. And as his glove came up, it almost looked like the ball just kind of, no pun intended, but knuckled off the dirt and right into the hand of Ray Brownlee.
Yep. Out of town scoreboard, the Maple Leafs have pulled away a little bit on that contest. Now it's 6-1. That one I'm just going to pop up on the screen here. Yeah, 6-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Top of the 4th inning, it's still scoreless between the Welland Jackfish and London Majors. Of course, the Cobra Chickens making their debut tonight. And hats off to Matt Hitchcock, the London Majors, and everything else for taking an April Fool's Day joke and turning it into something rather amazing.
Yeah, no, the logo and the brand, it's so good.
Oh, it is. And, you know, I was kind of quietly hoping the Welland Jackfish would have brought their lawn cocks out, but they didn't yet. So, you know, I get it. Maybe in August when they meet up again at Labatt Park, maybe they'll have a lawn cock versus Cobra Chicken game, and then it'll be kind of interesting.
Yeah, can we petition for that?
I'm pretty sure the whole league is probably trying to get them to do that. But they both have such great fun with the jerseys and everything else. You've seen all the ultimate jerseys and whatever else. Like Welland's got, I think, 6 or 7 of them this year. London's got 4 or 5. They had a military jersey that was absolutely remarkable last week. They did their homework this time. They listened to everybody, including the scorers, and say, hey, we got to be able to see the number.
Yeah, everything about their last military jersey was great other than the number.
Yeah.
You couldn't see the number. You fix that, and we're talking about a completely different thing.
Yeah. But Welland's got a Cowboy Night one. They had the Prom Night one, which was just amazing.
Yep.
They came out in the limo, and then they introduced the starting lineup in the limousine.
Yeah, that one, that got me.
Yeah. And then, of course, London had to do one better and brought the fire truck out to them onto the hill. I'm just like, these two guys, like Matt and Ryan, both they love doing marketing. They both love it and everything else. So it's just like, you know, let those two guys go in a room, and I'd love to see what they would create.
This league has taken a dramatic turn. It started with the Welland Jackfish really bringing the fun to it, right? Of course, Ryan Harris, the director of fun, and they do such a great job with it. London steps up, Hamilton steps up, everybody upping their game to another level, and I get excited when the schedules come out and you start to see what these teams are playing.
Oh, speaking of your schedule, I congratulate you guys on an amazing thing this week. I was like, I am so stealing that somehow.
Oh, the Pokemon, So
I am so stealing that somehow.
Matt,
I meant to text you, but I was just like, oh man, I got so busy, and I think that's when they were taking my phone away from me too. Just like
Matt Gallant, who is our head of digital media with the Bulldogs, he had the idea. Last year we did the Sopranos Open, where I was driving the car and we were doing the whole. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
And Matt came up with this idea one day. We were sitting around in the lounge at the arena. He said, "I think we can do a Pokemon video." I said, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And he showed me he had gone online and built these maps of Brantford in the 16-bit style, and we got it all together, and he said to me, all right, all I need from you is the player matchups. Oh, I can do that for you. And I'm thinking, how are you going to make all this work? And he started to show me the steps along the way. This is actually going to happen.
Yeah. Oh no, I was blown away by the things I didn't think I could do this year as far as other things. I was like, okay, I come up with an idea, and I was like, okay, can I pull this off? And then like 6 hours later, there it is, the finished product's out there, and I'm like, wow, like this has come like. If you can think it now, you can pretty much create it, or you can find somebody that can do it for you now.
Well, that's it, and that was where it started. When Matt gets these ideas, he says, I think I can pull this off. We just let him run.
Yeah.
Like, if you think you can do it, he's one of those guys, if I can see it in my mind, I can do it.
Well, I know the league's got me doing something right now I'm not allowed to say yet, you know, but they got me doing something next week. Maybe it might drop like next Friday or so, but there's something coming together there too, so it's just like, and a lot of the teams are having lots of fun with it right now, so it's like, okay, let's see how this goes.
I like it. This is going to be some fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got cooking. So yeah, congratulations to Matty Gallant, Julia Boss, who was in that creative group with us as well. They did an amazing job on that schedule video. I was the guy that was lucky enough to be the one that just got to flick the Game Boy on and off. And,
that's amazing.
That's my wife's Game Boy, actually. And
wow.
The whole thing was, I said to them, So it was before I got the beard trimmed.
Yep.
I said, you're going to have to edit it from like here, right? You can't, because once people see the beard, they're going to know right away who it is.
That's Reader having fun with this thing, yeah.
So Matt figured out a way that it wasn't obvious it was me.
Yep. That's great, though.
We thought about having Brewster do it, but with his paws, right? He can't quite.
It's like a raptor trying to play, so you can't do it.
No,
not happening.
It wouldn't have worked, so it ended up, hey, you're here. Why don't you do it? Yeah,
yeah. All right. Way you go.
So where we are right now, bottom of the second inning, 2 away. Cardinals have taken a 7-5 lead after falling down 5-1. Home plate umpire Ray Brownlee takes the ball off the hand, and we're essentially in limbo waiting for a switch in apparel while we get a new home plate umpire.
And hopefully, hopefully the umpires had their gear and the crew in the trunk and everything else. But they always usually travel together to save money and everything else. So it might not have been there. They might be scraping together some equipment from the Cardinals or the Panthers even as far as catcher's gear or something, so the catcher can, so the plate umpire can gear up here. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's been a lengthy start to this ball game as we're in the bottom of 2 and already had 12 runs come across the plate, Neil.
Well, exactly. And when when we opened this game, we were worried that the cloud cover and everything else was going to be the story in the ball game, and that way we got a little bit of delay here. And lo and behold, look at the weather around us. We got sunny skies again.
Yeah, there's sun out to the backside of the ballpark, so we may be in a spot where it's just going to pass right around us. The question will be when we come back from break, will we see Enrique Saldana take the hill again for the Cardinals after a delay like this? But we'll find all that out when we return to Bernie Arbor Stadium and Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
No amount of studying can guarantee a gambling win. Find tips for safer play at gamblingisrandom.ca.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Rave, and you're watching Ensemble. We have a special guest. We got Fast Break.
Be sure to tune in to the next episode of A Little Market Insight, where we are going to be sitting down with Ryan Wilson from Garden City Environmental, talking all about mold and asbestos removal. Then we're going on the road to EMCO, where we're going to be talking all about plumbing fixtures. And then lastly, we are joined in studio by Derek Mount from Nest and Rest Property Management. So be sure to tune in to this next episode. You can catch it on Cable 14 and cable14.com.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. The Hamilton Cardinals have rallied from 5-1 down to take a 7-5 lead with 2 outs in the second inning.
Yeah, it's been a wild one.
Neil, what is going on out here tonight?
What hasn't gone on here tonight?
Yeah, we've had home runs in the ballgame, stolen bases, hit by pitch. We've had rallies on both sides, and we've barely even got this one going. And an umpire with an injury, and we're down to a 2-man ump crew for the rest of the night.
Exactly. So the umpires are going to have to really work and really hustle around these bases to cover all the bases here.
Ray Brownlee, and it sounds like a broken finger for Ray, and we wish him the very best. As ball on the ground from Brown, and that almost turned into a bit of an adventure, but it'll end the threat for the Cardinals. 3 out, finally, in this second inning, and we'll see who's going to take the hill for the Cardinals after we hear from our friends at Armstrong Bird Food.
Sometimes the littlest things can make the biggest difference. Like nature brightening your day. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong Bird Food. Feeding Cardinals since 1986.
Well, Neil, looks like we have our answer. Logan Workington, the former Winnipeg Golden Knight, is going to make his way out to the mound.
Somebody should have reminded him, oh, yeah, the kids are coming to run the bases. Maybe you kind of want to stay in the bullpen for a couple more pitches there. But he's going to get loose here, and Enrique Saldana's day is done. He is off the hook, though, so won't stand to get the win, but won't take the loss here.
Talk about bad luck for Enrique Saldana. The start for him, I mean, an error in the first inning contributes to runs piling up on him.
Yep.
And then here headed into this third inning, a 45-minute break for Saldana, and that's just not safe to send him back out into the ballgame.
Especially not when you got eight games in 11 days here. You don't want to risk an injury to a starting pitcher.
So that will bring about the entrance of Logan Workington.
It looks like Papa Salazzo down there getting to pick up some people down there, giving everybody hugs.
Yep. Yeah, caught that as a couple of the youngsters were running by, and there was a big hug from the conductor. And, yeah, you talk about Jonathan Salazzo having fun, and you can see it, and it's great to see.
Exactly.
This should be fun. You're playing baseball.
Yep.
Sports get far too serious at times, and
exactly.
people lose sight of it.
And I think he put a lot of pressure on himself, too, as far as everything else goes. And you can see it Sunday in London, too. He wasn't quite feeling himself. But then, he got a couple of days off, a couple of days relaxed. He got into the batter's box last night and seemed to be in his happy place again.
That's all it takes.
Yep.
And this Cardinals team, and you talked about it, there were some expectations on their shoulders with this lineup coming into the season. Got off to a little bit of an uneven start, not of their own doing.
No.
Rainouts caused them to have only played 2 games in the first 2 and a bit weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Just tough start, and now it feels like this team's starting to come together. Even the last 2 losses just by a run each.
Well, exactly. And you hope at some point the tides turn in those games where you lose those games by a run, and you hopefully on the flip side, as the season goes along, you start winning those ones.
Logan Workington from Domaine, Manitoba. He'll step into the ball game having pitched 3 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, ERA of 7.36, but that is, and that ball just did not come out of his hand the way he wanted it, and Workington immediately pointing to himself as he hits Applovich on the back. And Klaus Applovich will take first base.
Stepping up to the plate, designated hitter number 11, A.J. Carrozas.
A.J. Carrozas will come in. You'll see it on the replay. He just had that ball come out of his hand funny. And like that ran
right off the top of the shoulder blades. That one's not going to feel nice later.
Nope. As Workington will wind and deliver, doesn't get the edge. 1-0. Workington pitched a third of an inning against the Guelph Royals on June 1st, gave up 2 earned runs in that appearance. Other than that, he has 3 1/3 innings of 1-run baseball.
Yep.
So it shows you how much, especially for a reliever, 1 bad appearance can shoot your ERA through the ceiling. 2-0 the count to Carrozas. And the lefty will put it on the target as
I'm not sure what that is.
They are doing in-seat service of concessions down below us with a guy with a megaphone as Carrozas is going to swing through it. It's not quite as big as Jimmy Hart's megaphone, but
yeah. I can deliver it to as long as you're a paying customer.
2-2 count As Workington, not quite. Count runs full. What else are we going to see here tonight?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. Always something new with the Cardinals games. And that's why you got to bring the family out.
Well, I think both sides of this ball game, as Workington's going to lose Corosas to the walk, would just like to see this game get a bit of a rhythm to it as well.
Yeah. We've had our fun, guys. Now let's just move along and play the baseball game.
Second walk of the game for Corosas. That'll bring up Lawson. And now Lawson may be tasked with moving runners along here.
And Stephen Hospital getting loose in a hurry down there. Cardinals not wanting to dip into the bullpen this early, but I don't think they really had a choice.
No, after that delay, there's just no way you could send Saldana back out there.
Well, the Panthers are doing the same sort of discussion here now, too.
Yeah, Evan Elliott came back out as Lawson fires this one foul into the bullpen. Evan Elliott came back out after the delay to the injury to the umpire, but we'll see how long he stays in the ball game, as his pitch count inflated in that second inning. As Workington with a look into Lawson. Delivers, and Lawson threatened with the bunt, pulled it back 1-1. And a weird day in the city of Hamilton gets weirder as there's sun in behind the stadium as the sun's setting.
Yep.
Lawson shoots this one back foul on a night where just a couple hours down the road we've got a rain out and we were under the threat of thunderstorms. And so far,
looks like it's all past.
Nothing. What do they know on the weather report anyway?
I don't know. I walk out my house sometimes and it says it's sunny out there. I'm going, really? Where?
Lawson sends this one into left field. Pena underneath it. One away. I was on the golf course once with my dad and my brother, and it started just downpouring.
Yep.
And I pulled out my weather app and I said, "Good news, guys. It says it's not raining here."
It's not raining here.
Stepping in will be Runto Sawa, who led off this game with a home run, which feels like yesterday at this point with the way that this game has gone.
Well, exactly.
We continue along and started the game with a threat of potential thunderstorm, and now it looks pretty nice. As Logan Workington got the fly out for the first out, but still 2 on with 1 away.
Yeah, everything. Oh, John was rubbing that in our face now. Did you hear that? The 17U team is up big, and they're in the 7th inning. They started the same time we did.
Well, they didn't have 12 runs in the first 2 innings and an umpire breaking a finger.
But it looks like the weather has gone towards Welland tonight, so we're looking like we're in the clear.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know why they use that green color on the map, though. It's just not something I want to see coming across.
No. Yeah, you're right, Neil. That looks somehow
that looks like a mucus cloud or something.
Well, and it also looks like it's split going past us.
Yeah.
That is wacky. All right.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Let's just get through the ball game now.
As Workington looks in, he'll deliver, and got Osawa swinging. Struck him out.
4 strikeouts by Cardinals pitchers on the evening.
Mandley, who has 2 singles in the ballgame. There you get a look at what has become beautiful Hamilton night after earlier on today we weren't sure what was going to happen.
Oh, exactly. I kept looking out the window, checking the forecast on the internet and going, okay, yeah, is this going to happen? We're going to be in the car and Eric's going to tell us to turn around.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Or worse, we're going to pull into the parking lot, then get told to pull around, which happened last year.
Yep.
Twice.
Yep. Well, one night we were here and it looked like a lake.
Yep. Oh, exactly.
0-1 the count. Workington winds and delivers and gets Mandley behind 0-2.
He's definitely recomposed himself once he gave up the hit by pitch and the walk.
It looked like it just took him a moment to get set.
Yeah. Of course, he's coming out of the bullpen, and he's running into a throng of children running around the bases, so everything's throwing his rhythm off.
As Workington will wind and deliver. Ball tapped on the ground. He'll charge it hard, but this time the grass goes against the Cardinals.
That raise is now in question.
Yeah, it just got chopped back.
Yeah, cutbacks.
As Mandalay, the infield single.
Stepping up to the plate, right fielder.
They'll load the bases now for Josvani Panalve. 0 for 2 in the contest, 3 unassisted, and a strikeout looking his last time up.
It's a big spot here for Workington. 2 outs. If he can get out of the jam without surrendering a run, it puts the Cardinals in a good spot. And opened up Penalve with a ball. Not quite sure where that missed. Did you see the ball call last night that ruined Yamamoto's immaculate inning? I mean, it almost middle.
Yep.
I'm not sure how it was missed.
Again, that's going to be next year when they have the robo umps in there, and then the opportunity to tap their helmets and pitch check and everything else.
Man, Galarraga's going, yeah, sure, now you bring it in.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be the challenge system, not the going back to Galarraga's perfect. How did that not later get changed to a perfect game?
Because I think Major League Baseball is going. Yeah, bases are loaded here in the 3-0. But yeah, getting back to that, it's just it's hard for baseball to go back and admit on it. They made a mistake on that too.
And Penalve's going to walk, so it's Klaus Appelvich that's going to cross home the hit by pitch.
Did they go back and reverse that one? How many more they have to go back and reverse too?
Fair enough.
But that one definitely stands out and still stings.
Up to the plate, the beer batter, catcher number 48, Junior Ibarra.
So the bases remain loaded. A.J. Carrosas now over at third. Mandalay up to second, Penalve at first. And Logan Workington walking home a run. It's 7-6. So we got a chance to take a look at this. It was an immaculate. Oh,
okay.
They're working on it.
They're working on it, folks.
As Junior Ibarra will step in. A single and a double for Ibarra in the ball game.
He took offense to being named the beer batter of the day.
Clearly. Oh, boy. It's been a struggle tonight behind home plate, and that has led to this ball game tailing on towards an hour and a half past first pitch here in the third inning. As now 2-0 to Ibarra.
Not the news we want to get on a text message, that's for sure.
No, so it sounds like it might be more than one broken finger for Ray Brownlee, and tough go as Workington 3-0 now to Ibarra.
He's just missing up here. At least that's what I'm telling myself from this vantage point.
And at one point, it was 0-2 to Mandalay, and that infield single extended the inning, and it may play a part in tying this ball game as Workington gets the ball over the plate for a 3-1 count. Workington needs something positive here to get out of this inning.
Yeah.
He'll wind and deliver, and Ibarra taps that back foul, 3-2.
And you hear the fans get a little louder here, trying to will Ibarra to strike out here and help the cause out here.
Both batters that have been hit by a pitch tonight have come around to score. Brandon Nickel for the Cardinals and Klaus Appelvich for the Panthers. Everybody on the move, and Workington got him looking.
And the crowd is definitely going to be a lot more happy here.
Huge pitch for Logan Workington. As we will head to the bottom of the third inning with the Cardinals leading 7-6. And we'll look to see who's actually going to come out to take the mound for the Panthers now, Neil.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wonder if Logan Workington's asking a bit about strike zone.
He's definitely frustrated. I guarantee it. You know, he's a young man that, he's used to. Danny Garcia is going to make his second appearance in as many nights here.
Heavy workload.
Well, until last night, he hadn't pitched in a week and a half. So it was like, okay, last appearance was against the Guelph Royals heading to last night. And then last night, he went in there and pitched pretty well. Of course, he was part of the Andy Leader trade from the Guelph Royals last year. He was one of the returns the Panthers got in exchange for Andy Leader. The other half, Jorge de la Cruz Paez, no longer on the roster. Got released a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and that was a trade that Andy Leader wanted to make a change of scenery.
Yep.
And the Panthers were looking to recoup some value, and they certainly got it with Danny Garcia.
Exactly, and when they were, I know there was offers on the table for Liam Wilson from a couple of clubs, but at the same time, I just don't think they found something they liked. So that's why Wilson wound up sitting out the whole year before signing with the Royals in January.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like Leader and Wilson might be attached at the hip a little bit.
Just a little.
They obviously like being together, and we've seen how much they enjoy playing together when they've been in this park.
That they have.
All right, let's go back and we'll take another look. We'll step aside for a second as you see the pitch that cost Yoshinobu Yamamoto his immaculate inning.
Here's the 0-2. Here it is. Oh, no! Marvin Hudson cost him an immaculate inning.
That is not even, how?
I mean, that's not even close.
No, that's just, wow, okay. No.
So we talk about it here, but even at the highest level.
Yeah, but that was right down Green Street. Call that strike, Oppie. I was sitting in the box last night going, has that Owen Boone ever thrown one? Because he was close last night twice.
Yes. Yeah, that, I don't know what was being looked at there.
I think he had an absolute brain fart. What else can you say?
Yeah.
I guarantee you've seen the replay a million times since then. He's been on every. I'm sure his own family's vilified him since.
Oh. Yeah, that's a tough go. That is a tough go. Even his best friends won't admit to knowing him today. No. Danny Garcia into the ballgame. 5 games in the season. A 0 ERA.
Yeah.
7 2/3 innings. 10 strikeouts, just 4 hits against. Garcia looking to level things out for the Panthers here as Salazzo bombs this one off the. Oh, I thought it was going to hit the roof.
Fuji was just kind of not sure where he was on the out of play line here, not wanting to run into the dugout either. Man, that kid can play too.
Yeah.
Great pickup by the Panthers. 6 home runs on the year.
Who was it we saw last week almost run into the fence down there in foul territory?
Toronto third baseman. Yeah.
Javier.
Yeah.
Just lost where he was and kind of knew he didn't want to run into it. And he's got all crossed up as Salazzo sees this go to 2-2 as he swings through.
Yeah, Ibarra definitely knows what Salazzo can hit and what he can't hit. He likes to challenge him upstairs when he's catching.
As Garcia delivers outside, and that'll run to 3-2. Danny Garcia didn't get in a lot of action last summer, at least with the Guelph Royals. He did after the trade to Kitchener. 26 innings. Had a 9 ERA as Salazzo will take the walk down to first, but 35 strikeouts to 13 hits.
Yeah, he was. When he's on, he is definitely going to throw a lot of strikeouts in.
Catcher number 11, July Vittini.
The leadoff walk to Salazzo. Vittini will bat here with nobody away here in just the third inning. We got to remind ourselves we're only in the third. Hope we didn't have any plans tomorrow, Reed.
Not particularly.
No.
As that one's going to run high and inside. We might be here until tomorrow.
No, exactly. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do the laundry now. I'm like going, okay, I got to get it downstairs tonight. I got to start it when I get up. Because we're going, again, we got dinner plans in the afternoon because we didn't get a chance to celebrate Father's Day last week because I was in London. So
Right.
You know, everybody put their family plans on hold because of me. So I feel bad as enough as it is. So
how much fun was that, though, being at the park with
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Jammed.
Yeah, you know, it's just, they ask me every year if I'm interested in going, and it's, of course, and immediately, yes. And it's like, who are they playing? Hamilton, even better.
There you go.
So, you know, I'm not missing another game somewhere.
And Garcia having a little trouble finding the plate.
It was a small number in I don't know, the categories as far as, you know, it starts with an 8, has a 5, and has a 0 on the end of it. That was numbered as far as numbers and everything else goes, but it was just like, you know, I don't make a big deal of that, but just, you know, it was one of those things. It's like, okay, the kids all knew what number it was and everything else. It's like, yeah, whatever. But, yeah, you look back and you go, okay, wow, it's been 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, like off and on doing various jobs in the league and for the various different teams and everything else. And the math teacher, Mr. Campanola, made my son figure this out a couple years ago. Only reason we know.
Vittini sees that one to the inside for strike one. Well, your math teacher was right on it then.
Yeah. Well, I used to coach him, so he was like, you know, get your dad to dig out the scorebooks, do everything else. You do the math.
Oh, that had to be fun.
Yeah. He was like, you have scorebooks from how long ago?
Yeah, never mind.
No. It's like, why wouldn't you just throw these out, Dad? I'm like, because there's got various things in them. And he's not a baseball fan, so it kind of went over his head, but, you know. He knows his daddy's baseball team, and that's all he needs to know.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
As Vittini will shoot this up the elevator shaft. Two Panthers charge.
Oh,
Nobody
man.
found it, and it's going to strand Salazzo on his way to second.
Nothing Salazzo can do in that situation when the ball just got lost in the sky here. A little miscommunication on the infield, but they got out. Nobody had collisions or anything, but yeah. Salazzo, unfortunately, just a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, Salazzo can't take off there because if it's caught, it's a double play.
Yep.
But it looked like there was a whole cross-up between Mandalay and Fuji.
Yep.
They recovered it to get the first out. Tommy Reyes-Cruz steps in.
He's 0 for 0 in the contest. Walked his first time up, came around to score in that second inning. Vittini will reach on the fielder's choice. Salazzo's retired, and I believe it's a 5-4.
One of the wackiest fielder's choices you're going to come across. One and one, the count to Reyes-Cruz.
As you look ahead to the Cardinals' schedule next week, it's not fun. You got 2 against the Panthers tonight, and tomorrow, and you got the Maple Leafs here on Saturday or on Sunday.
Yep.
You're at Toronto on Wednesday, Welland Thursday, Welland here Friday. That one's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. Reyes-Cruz. Whoa. Ibarra had the ball just come out of his hand. Vittini's on the run to third. Applovich will throw. Vittini's in there safe.
Did that go off the bat or off the body?
I have no idea.
Things are getting stranger and stranger here. Like
Yeah,
this is shades of that ALCS game.
This night has just really gone wacky.
I don't know if we got the replay or not, but he went to throw the baseball and watch.
So Reyes-Cruz swings through it.
No, it just slipped out of his...
The throwing hand of Junior Ibarra. And Reyes-Cruz, that one on the inside portion And Reyes Cruz is going to be put down on a looking strike.
Stepping up to the plate, center fielder number 5, Tyler Duncan.
So he gives Vittini the stolen base on second. Then he gives him an E2 on the throw that allows him to go to third. Like, I don't know if he just lost his balance when he was trying to throw it and it just slipped out of his hand.
Right out the side of his hand. And now Tyler Duncan steps in with July Vittini at third, looking to put the Cardinals back up by a pair. Oh, he thought he was going to take that one right out of here.
Yeah, but getting back to the schedule, so yeah, we have Welland on Thursday in Welland, then we have them here Friday night. Then Barrie here next Sunday.
Phew.
The 8 and 11 is not fun at all.
No. Compacted schedule, tough opponents. As Garcia delivers, that one will come in low, 1-1.
And that's why the importance, like tonight's game, is very important. You don't want to fall behind the schedule, especially when you know what you got coming up in the back end next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bank the wins where you can get them.
Yeah, get yourself a head start as the games pile up, 3-0. Brandon Nickel, who's come around to score twice in the ball game with a home run and a hit by pitch. That's two very different ways to do it. He's on deck if Duncan can reach. As Garcia delivers, 2-2.
Cardinals and Baycats now have only both collectively played 12 baseball games. So the Cardinals will catch up this week. The Baycats will catch up this week as far as numbers and everything else. But the rainouts in the middle there, too, are just going to compound things as the schedule goes on.
Yep. Garcia delivers. Duncan sends this one into center field, falling quickly. And the RBI single scorer, July Vittini.
Duncan comes through with his second hit of the night and his second RBI of the night. Cardinals are back to that 2-run lead at 8.
Stepping up to the plate, shortstop number 32, Brandon Nickel.
8-6 in the third inning. This is the highest scoring baseball game to this point of a game that I've called.
Yep. Got him on the mic, or no? It's just in our heads.
No, he's just the voice in our heads.
Okay.
As Garcia delivers, and that's 0-1. So Jono's young fella, they just beat North York 10-5. That game is done. It started at the same time as ours.
Yeah, and we're
bottom of the third
close.
Nickel flares this one into center, falling quickly and caught by Penalve, and that will deliver the Cardinals back to a 2-run lead through 3 innings of play. You're watching Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com. Because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Alcoholics Anonymous. We're here to help. For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.
Welcome back to Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. Do not adjust your sets. Top of the fourth inning coming up as the doctor is in. Stephen Hospital.
Doctor making an early visit here on the early house call here.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing the doctor in the fourth inning.
No, we're not.
This is about his time of night, but we're not used to the doctor this quickly. As again, this has been a wacky game.
That it has been.
So Enrique Saldana pitched the first 2 innings tonight. Ended up charged with the 5 runs, but when there was the injury to home plate umpire Ray Brownlee, and again, we wish the very best for Ray, he had to exit the game. It was about a 45-minute delay for Saldana. Well, between the inning and the umpire change over that. And Saldana was not able to continue, so Logan Workington comes in, works an inning, and now Stephen Hospital is the Cardinals. You got to think somebody along the way here is going to have to give him a multiple inning run.
Well, exactly, especially, I think bullpen day was the plan for Sunday, but now I think those plans have changed. Now it's going to be like, okay, who can go like 4 or 5 innings now?
So Yosuke Fuji steps in.
Fuji is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout.
Oh and 1. Hospital. 1 and 1. Talked about him last week. Stephen Hospital. He and Zach Cameron, that dynamic 1-2 punch for Niagara University at the back end of their bullpen. Both of them setting records. I believe Hospital now the record holder for most innings pitched for the university.
Good setup guy.
Or most appearances, I think it is, for the university. As he'll get Fuji swinging through that, 2-2 the count. There was 3 youngsters down below us just guzzling freezies a minute ago.
Aren't we glad they're not going to our house tonight?
Oh.
They'll be buzzing all night.
Yeah, those
liquid sugar.
And those are the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
Fuji on the ground. Nice pickup by Kakatos on the bounce. 1 away.
I thought I was seeing things the other day when I was in the Walmart. They have Dr. Pepper freezies now.
Oh, I haven't told you yet.
Uh-oh.
I've got the recipe and I'm making it. I'm going to see if I can find a way to deliver some to you. Dr. Pepper ice cream.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes.
We'll have to sample that on the air.
Oh, I've been in the lab. I'm making things happen.
Oh, man.
I make my own ice cream. That's one of my things in the summer.
Obviously, yeah. It sounds like it.
Yeah. Done the cotton candy, the mint chip. As this one's sent right back up the middle by Charlie Towers, who will reach for the second time in the ball game. That's the second time he's just taken a first pitch and sent it back through.
He's not afraid to challenge his hitters, that's for sure. At least batters, at least pitchers anyways.
Klaus Appelvich. Last time around, he took one off the shoulder blade as you get a look at Stephen Hospital. A towering presence on the hill. I mean, he may not be Brett Lawson at 6'8", but I believe Hospital's in that 6'5" neighborhood. Of course, then again, there aren't many who are in that Brett Lawson neighborhood at 6'8". That's just downright frightening. Oh, and 1 the count to Appelvich. Hospital winds and delivers, runs outside 1-1.
Got somebody asking a stat question. I never thought they would ever ask that kind of stat question with. But my ex-wife's at the Blue Jay game, so she's asking me questions. And I'm feeling obligated to answer because, it's very rare she goes to baseball.
Hospital widens and delivers. That one will run outside. 2-1 the count to Klaus Appelvich.
This is too much fun.
I always have fun with my wife when she asks me, she's a Sharks fan. She'll ask me a stats question. Who holds this record for the Sharks? And Pat Falloon.
Yeah, that's a safe answer.
Who is that?
From Saskatoon?
Yeah, she started watching roughly around the Thornton era.
Oh, jeez.
So
Jumbo.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't like Jumbo?
Oh, no, exactly. Well, I remember him from St. Thomas. He played with the St. Thomas Tomcats the one summer. Yeah, I'm glad he picked hockey.
What?
Because he would have just killed baseball.
Kakatos very quickly steps back to first base. Thought about trying for two, didn't have the opportunity. Applovich grounds out to first, and Towers moves up to second.
3 unassisted goes to put up. Towers is now second with 2 away.
A.J. Carosis will step in, the designated hitter.
I'm going to have to ask Nate about the last question, though, because I don't even know.
Whoa! One of you two will know.
What does the RSLT mean at the end of that?
One of you two will know the answer to that.
Yeah, I knew the other ones, but just that one, I'm like, what the heck is that?
Carosis open up with a strike.
What is that
by
shorthand for? Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe. Yeah. RLST, yeah. I've never seen that on. I don't see that when we don't have a digital scoreboard here, so I don't usually see that one.
As that one tipped back foul, Vittini
This
able
is
to
just
block.
hilarious that she's actually reached out while she's at the Jays game.
Quick, I need an update.
Yeah. It's just, by the way, the Jays are sucking tonight. So I'm like, okay.
Hey, you know what? I'll take that right now because the Red Sox have finally figured out how to play baseball.
How are you doing with no Raft now, by the way? I meant to ask. I didn't want to bring it up because it was probably a touchy subject.
No, I'm fine with it.
Like, it was not quite the Baltimore packing up and sending off in the middle after midnight in the trucks, but still, it was like...
The timing could have been better as Carosis strikes out. Hospital gets him whiffing. And we have come to the end of inning number 4. And we know at Cardinals games, it is a lot of fun up here. It's a lot of fun down on the field. And Emily Thompson is doing her thing over in the stands. And I think she's doing a pop quiz for the people.
Next half inning.
As we're going to go down to her at the end of the 4th inning. As Neil, the Cardinals will look to tack onto their lead.
All right, so there we go. So it's runners left on the table.
Runners left on the table.
That's just not typed right then.
No, it's not. That's all right. You got to learn.
The scoreboard operator has once again let us down at Rogers Center. First, they spelled Dalton Pompey's name wrong for, I don't know, a good week and a half. And Dalton called him on every time.
You can't do that.
No.
So you're asking about the Raft deal.
Yeah.
I don't know about most Red Sox fans, but I had a feeling it was coming.
Yeah. Well, I think he wasn't happy there anymore.
No.
And he wasn't consulted about when they brought in Bregman either, so I get his point.
Well, I get his point, but at the same time, he's not a good third baseman.
No.
And the Red Sox had an opportunity to get one of the best defensive third basemen.
And it's just, at the same time, but you still have to have that conversation with the player and everything else because, hey, you're going to be moving over.
Had I been in Craig Breslow's shoes, I would have signed Bregman and traded Cassis and moved Raff over to first
yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
Asking him to do I understand why he didn't want to do it in the middle of the season, but still, David Ortiz, and I will, go with David Ortiz's opinion on these things.
Mm-hmm.
He said that you got to do it.
No, you got it.
You just got to do it.
You're professional. You got to do it. I get it.
And in the return, Tibbs looks like he's going to be a pretty good hitter.
Yep.
That can play first and third. They got Blaze Jordan, who's on fire at Worcester right now. And now you get Jordan Hicks and Kyle Harrison. Kyle Harrison could be a high-end lefty in your rotation. So, and you cleared off, $300 million?
Yeah, I was going to ask, did you guys retain any of that salary? Because, again, I hadn't get a chance to check a lot. But if you got away with nothing on that,
zero.
You've done your job then.
I'm still much more upset about the Mookie Betts trade.
I think everybody is.
Carlos Dominguez will send that one deep and out foul.
That one never made sense to me.
It still doesn't. It still does. That's the
You
guy.
got Verdugo and what, money?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because nothing else stayed back.
Connor Wong, who it's almost the end of June and doesn't have an RBI.
Yeah.
There's that ball on the ground. There's an infielder as well who was highly regarded, and I can't remember his name, and just never turned out.
No, I'm not a Red Sox fan, but I like Mookie Betts as a Red Sox.
Oh, I loved Mookie Betts. As Dominguez reaches out and sends this one into left field, and fair ball.
Off the corner of the Trimeca sign.
Wow, how did Carlos Dominguez Jenga that one?
It's that weird corner here, where last week we saw the home run go over because it's a corner.
Right. And it's a double for the former Mets farmhand who is on fire tonight. 3 for 3 with a couple RBIs and a stolen base.
I don't know if he realized he needed the triple, but yeah, he stopped at second.
Keep going, keep going.
Yep. Then you just need the home run. Then they will call you a legend from now on.
That's right.
But a pair of doubles, not a bad night.
As Nico Kakatos will step in, a walk and an RBI sac fly. But the Cardinals with an opportunity here now with nobody out and Dominguez already in scoring position to add a little bit.
I'm definitely going to have to print the scorebook, the score sheet afterwards to stick this one on this sheet, because if anybody ever looks at the scorebook later on and go, what the heck happened in this game?
This has been the height of insanity. There's no way you could have predicted this one coming in.
No.
And that one's outside for ball one to Kakatos.
And if you wrote this one up somewhere, they all laugh. You go, what are you, out of your mind? What do you mean this is going to happen in this game?
Hey, you feeling okay?
Yeah.
You been watching lacrosse with a scoreline like this? Like what? As that one catches the edge, 1-1 to Kakatos. You know, I mean, and the other thing too is I got to the point now where some of these trades, like I've lived through a Thornton trade.
Yep.
Andy Moog, Ray Bork, Nomar Garcia-Parra.
Oh man.
That one, until the Betts trade as a Red Sox fan, the Nomar one was the one that I was like, but that led to a World Series somehow.
It did. Oh yeah, like he was one of the guys they traded him out, got the pieces they needed at that time, and turned the ship around.
Well, and the problem with that one to me was after they went out and got Orlando Cabrera, then they let him go for Edgar Renteria, who never fit. Yeah. You had the guy. You had the guy, and you let him go. Like, you didn't need the star power of Renteria. As good as he was.
But I always thought it was a nice touch that the Red Sox got Nomar a ring out of it, too, and just,
you had to.
year.
You had to.
Yeah. He might not have liked it, but, I think it was appreciative of the gesture and everything else, but it's not the same thing as winning it with the team.
No, as Kakatos reaches out, and he'll go down on strikes. Garcia gets him swinging.
And this is why Garcia has got so many strikeouts. He's just got the mindset out there. Okay, I'm gonna work you inside. I'm gonna sit out here, work you outside. And I'm gonna get you to chase it either way.
Left fielder number 12, Yoki
Pena will step in. Really nice pitch there from Garcia.
Yeah.
Even the Brad Marchand trade this year, a lot of people are, how do you feel about that one? I saw it coming.
Well, you saw it coming. Boston, the Bruins weren't doing so well.
And Carlos Dominguez has another stolen base. He's over to third with one away.
Cardinals just trying to get another run across here. Pena now just has to do a job, hit a ball on the right side here. Infield's going to come in to cut it down.
Dominguez, just such a powerful runner. Gets off the blocks like a sprinter. As you're right, Neil, that infield is really pinching in to try to cut anything down.
Well, they have to in this situation. You can't let the Cardinals go up any higher.
There's a lot of space here. If Pena can just loop one into some green grass. Puts that one on the ground, foul 1-2. It would be a big run here for the Cardinals to add a third to this lead. which when they were down 5-1, you might not thought was
exactly
going to be possible. And Pena doesn't stare at strike 3. That went off
too far outside, and Pena was able to keep the bat back, so the umpire couldn't punch that one up.
That was a tough take from Pena.
Yep. Garcia definitely wanted it.
Outside edge has been on and off in this ball game. You just don't know. Pena on the ground. Applovich is going to come home with it. Dominguez is safe. Oh, what a job running the bags by Carlos Dominguez.
He got underneath the tag just in time here. I'm guaranteeing you'll see a very, very close play on the replay. And there we go with it right now. Applovich does the best job to get a hold of it, throws it down, throws a strike in there, and just gets underneath it.
Wow.
Plate umpire right there, right to make the right call.
What a base running job from Carlos Dominguez to give the Cardinals the 3-run lead. Steals third after he Englished like he was playing snooker, the ball into left field. Oh, great replay from that backside, guys.
Well done, guys.
Oh, our guys down in the truck for Cable 14 are just spectacular.
We are very, very blessed.
And you could see Dominguez sliding across home just before Junior Ibarra could put the tag on him. Oh, Brown almost came out of his shoes.
Pena reaches on the fielder's choice as they opted to go home. Still one away.
And Garcia looking into Ibarra. He'll get Brown swinging for the strikeout. 2 away. 3 strikeouts for Garcia since he's entered the ballgame.
He was definitely the key piece in the return, that's for sure.
Number 17, John Solazo.
The Royals back then had a lot of pitching on that staff, so he was not getting a lot of innings there.
No, he wasn't, and boy, did that workload change after he got to Kitchener. Went from 3 innings with the Royals to over 20 with the Panthers. Hey, I'd like to pitch more. Okay.
There you go.
Have fun. Jonathan Solazo. A single, a run scored, and a walk. And with Yoki Pena on base, he gets up 2-0. And again, the Cardinals remain in a spot where if Solazo finds a gap with Pena's speed, they could add another run to this lead.
That they could. John wants to put it down the right field line. He's got for sure a double, if not a triple here.
And that one popped up and over our position, 2-1. One man up in the Cardinals bullpen, but not throwing. So I think they may get a second inning out of the doctor.
Yep.
Nobody currently throwing in the
Panthers
bullpen either, yeah. So it's Garcia for now.
Well, the Panthers, if they wouldn't have got the rain out on Wednesday night, we're playing 5-5, so it wasn't going to be easy for them either.
Solazo took a healthy hack through that one. As Garcia has the long look in. Junior Ibarra sets, and Garcia doesn't get the call on the edge again.
Remind yourself it's a different umpire from when the game started as well, so the zone's probably different, so even the catchers are trying to figure it out.
Yeah, not something that you would usually see.
No.
As Garcia looks in on the full count. July Vittini on deck behind Jonathan Solazo. And lost him to the walk. Second walk of the ball game for Salazzo.
Finds his way on base for the third time tonight.
July Vitinho had a weird trip around last time. He's got 2 runs scored in this ball game. Reached on a fielder's choice, then stole second. An error brought him over to third.
Yep.
And then was able to get home. That was on Tyler Duncan's single. And that fielder's choice was the pop fly that there was confusion on the infield.
Yep.
Salazzo ended up.
Oh, exactly. Salazzo being the victim of circumstance, unfortunately, because he couldn't take off because the ball was in the air. You got to freeze on a pop-up or a line drive.
Garcia starts ahead of Vittini.
Good thing Vittini had the clairvoyance to run down the lines, or it would have been a double play.
And 1-1 the count. Whoa, Garcia.
That one almost went in the outfield.
Yeah, he almost had an adventure right there. But you got to wonder on a night like this. This is as humid as we've had it thus far in the season. We're already on 2 hours into this ball game. You got to wonder how much it's wearing on the guys on a night like this. There's already been a ton of action as Vittini, ripped that foul.
It's going to stay in the yard here, but a little ahead of that one.
Looked like he was taking a one-timer, dropped the knee and everything. Saw Nick Lourdes score 70 like that this year.
That guy was a lot of fun to watch.
The amazing thing about him was everybody in the building knew what was going to happen, and you still couldn't stop it.
No. When guys are on, guys are on.
Oh.
He was on.
Just an innate ability to find the back of the net. He's going to play in the NHL at 5'11" and 185 pounds just because he can put the puck in the net.
Oh, exactly. And as long as he's got somebody that can feed him the puck in front of the net, he's going to put a lot of them in.
Chicago's got a few in the system. Oh, got Vittini looking on the breaking ball that just got enough of the inside edge. And the Cardinals down on strikes. And now, as we reach the end of the fourth inning, this time we'll go down to the field where Emily Thompson is going to be set up for a wacky game down at field level to match the wacky game that we've got going. If you've never been to a Cardinals game, this is one of the reasons why you need to be here.
Indeed.
Hello to all the fans watching on Cable 14. Thank you so much for supporting the Cards. It means the world to us. We can't wait to get you right here at Bernie Arbor to a game because we have a lot of fun. It is time to do rescue drop. I got Reed and Caleb. They're both on the same baseball team, and they are getting ready to race. They have to go through our little obstacle course. You guys got this. Come on, fist bump. Let's go. Let's go. On your marks. Get set. Go. Make some noise for my friends down here, okay, speedsters? Get the chicken. Get the chicken. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, Caleb. Caleb's got the chicken, but Reed, you were awesome. Let's go, boys. Thank you so much, Cable 14. We'll see you soon. Go, Cards, go.
Emily is just outstanding.
She is. She's the hostess with the mostest.
Absolutely. There is nobody else who can do it quite like Emily Thompson can, and she is a big reason why you need to be down at a Cardinals game because, like we've been talking about, we're 2 hours into this ball game, and she sounds like we just started.
Well, exactly. And, she's the walking five-hour energy drink.
We've brought her up here a couple times with us when we've needed a little jolt, and she will provide that. That's for sure.
Definitely will.
Although she's got to be feeling better this week, too, because last week it looked like the poor girl was freezing down there.
Oh, exactly. It's just like, okay, yeah. We thought we were cold. The poor girl's on the field, and the wind's just gusting everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. We're at least protected from the breeze up here. She was down there running all the games, and it almost looked like she had a winter coat on down there.
Well, the good news is now, Reed, we're in the top of the fifth inning. It's a 9-6 ball game for the Cardinals leading. Stephen Hospital works into his second inning of work here.
And he'll face Trent Lawson.
So if it was to rain now, we're almost to an official ball game.
But I don't think it's gonna now.
No, I don't think it is either. It's like we saw the radar shot. It's clear to pass. It's like part of the Red Seas around us.
So we got lucky in that sense, but in the end, we we haven't really needed it at this point.
Yep.
There might be some guys on the bench saying, around the 7th inning, it wouldn't.
Wouldn't mind, somebody turning the sprinklers on or something, just to, send us home happy.
Do we have a curfew in the park? Is there a city?
There used to be in this park. I remember the sprinklers. We went out here on a Sunday night in a junior game, and the sprinklers came on at around 11:30 or something. It was just like way back when, but I'm sure they've been changed on different timers since then.
Lawson fires that up into the moonlight. Whoa! Jonathan Salazzo comes on and makes the play.
Yikes. Things are tough all over tonight.
He and July Vittini almost came together. Take another look at this one.
I don't hear anybody calling for it, seeing anybody making hand signals either, so it's just like...
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Great to see you. Yep. Jono's catching on here.
Jono's making the Bull Durham references downstairs.
Yep.
With
the rain delay? Yeah, we'll figure that one out. Where's the control panel? What do you make? $500 on that? I bet you guys $500. I can make it rain.
Wait a minute. Is Jono insinuating that he's going to go and try to find the sprinklers? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. We can't sit out in the air, can we? Somebody might rat us out.
I don't think we're going to get caught with the sprinklers.
No.
Tell you, as Osawa fouls that one back.
But the little gust of wind here definitely has a little bit of cooling air to it.
I was just checking the weather map as well, and we are clear on till at least midnight.
Yep. We finally have a score in that London-Welland game. The Majors now leading that one in the bottom of the 7th inning, 1-0. A run finally came across in the home half of the 7th inning between the Cobra Chickens and the Jackfish.
So they avoided that weather system as well from the other. Perhaps where they are in that ball game, maybe a slight delay?
No, actually, they were a 7:35 start, which is probably realistically a 7:50 start by the time they do all the player introductions and hoopla and everything else that they do on field there. So, yeah, they seem like they're moving along too.
Oh, Hospital gets the strikeout on Osawa looking. Hospital's come into this game just dealing.
Still going to reach out to Matt Spatafora, the new coach of the head coach of the Niagara Eagles, and just going to get his feel on this thing. Of course, Spatafora, former Guelph Royal way back when. So, it'd be interesting to see his take as far as watching these guys that he had a hand in coaching.
Yeah, we saw when Stephen Hospital came to the league last year, he had his growing pains at first coming in. By the playoffs,
he figured it out.
He was right on the money.
Yeah. And
now, coming into tonight, sporting a goose egg on the ERA.
Let's keep that way.
As that one will run low and outside. 10 strikeouts to 3 hits and 5 2/3 coming in.
Those are some serious numbers.
No free passes either. Doing exactly what he did at the NCAA level. And Mandalay stares at strike 2.
In the other game, in the out-of-town scoreboard, it is now it's a one-sided affair. 15-1 is the score.
Wow.
Yeah.
As Mandalay sends this one up the middle. Nickel in the hole, fires it to first. Real nice play backing up from Nickel. 2 clean innings from the doctor.
Just what the doctor ordered here, too. Cardinals needing those goose eggs up here to just settle things down on the defense.
As they'll head now to the bottom of the 5th inning. And for the first time all night, Neil, it feels like there's a bit of rhythm to this ball game now.
Yeah. Things have settled down. The starters are out of the ball game. The bullpens are doing their best to just, they're impressing. They're trying to work themselves into more innings here.
And Danny Garcia is doing his darndest to give the Kitchener Panthers some run, although I believe he's going to be replaced now as the third pitcher of the ball game for the Panthers is going to enter.
Number 16.
we scramble quickly to the rosters.
Yadier Martinez is on the hill now.
Yadier Martinez will step into this game. Danny Garcia gave him 2 innings of 2-run baseball, just one earned. As the pitcher's starting to settle things through. Tough go for Evan Elliott, who had 7 earned runs on 5 hits in the ballgame, 3 free passes, and a hit by pitch, which came around.
I'm just looking at the quick line score in the Brantford-Toronto game, and yeah, it was just a 6-run 7th inning. The difference, really, the downfall in that inning. 15 runs, 12 hits for the Maple Leafs tonight. Just trying to see who's doing all the damage.
Just seems like it's so often that one runaway inning.
Stepping up to the plate, second baseman number 25.
Well, put it this way, Costello's out of the game, Connect's out of the game, Spencer Ross is out of the game, and so is Kylo Shaw, the junior, is out of the game. Shaw had 3 hits in the contest, so.
How much fun is Kylo Shaw to watch?
He is fun to watch.
Wow. We saw him out here patrolling center field, and yeah, you wouldn't have known he was a junior.
Nope. And he handles himself so well in the interviews, too, with Thomas West.
Yeah, he does a spectacular job. That's going to be a future staple for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yep. Well, Gentos Alvarado started that ball game. He exited after 5, so we're probably going to see him Wednesday.
Surprising, right?
Yeah, not really, but
no,
you know.
Not at all. Somehow he seems to always pitch against the Cardinals.
Yeah. He may even, well, he won't pitch Sunday unless he comes in relief. But yeah, 5 innings. Not a lot of work tonight. Not a lot of work required. Did another 5 strikeouts. Allowed 3 hits.
Yeah, he and Owen Boone last week just had a brilliant back and forth.
I think Owen Boone loves when the opposing pitchers go out there and, sets the bar as far as strikeouts and everything else. Because last night it seemed like every time he went out there, he was matching the pitcher as well.
As Reyes Cruz sends this up. Back off second, and Charlie Towers has it for 1 away.
Tough sky right now, too. Well, the lights are up, and then the dark. It has definitely gotten darker, but last half inning or so, it was definitely a tough sky, especially even on those pop-ups you saw with Salazzo and you saw the one before. Guys were losing baseballs.
Tyler Duncan will step in. Duncan with a pair of RBIs in the ballgame. And Duncan has been really good in some key moments for the Cardinals in this game.
That he has been.
And conversation.
I'm not sure what this is about.
No, Yadier Martinez is.
Maybe he's asking if he's allowed to go to his mouth on the mound or something because of, the humidity and everything else.
Yeah, there had to be some sort of a miscommunication there.
Because he was pointing, like the manager's making hand signals out there again because he's not on the mound. Pitcher's making hand signals back, so I'm not sure what that was.
Strike 1, swinging to Duncan. Strike 2, swinging, and Duncan wanted that one back. And Duncan will take a moment. 0-2 the count with Nickel behind him. And Duncan got caught looking at that one on the outside edge.
Great job by Yadier Martinez on that at bat there, and definitely set up Duncan for that one.
Shortstop number 32, Brandon.
Yeah, Duncan wasn't in his zone after he swung at that second one. He wanted that one back immediately, and then that outside edge has been a bit of a source of some consternation for both sides on the evening.
Yep.
And Martinez quickly starts Nickel off with a strike. And getting ahead 0-2. Yadier Martinez working quickly.
That he has been. Came into action tonight with 38 strikeouts. I believe that's 4th in the league. Just 7 walks to his name.
Almost a quick pitch there, and he had a laugh over with somebody on the Cardinals bench.
Yeah, well, somebody probably just checked back at him in Spanish. Could have been any one of the suspects down there.
Oh, yeah, there's a few that you could have picked out of that lineup. He's still laughing out there.
I'm guessing it's Bernardo now.
It might be.
Yeah.
Luis is sitting on the stool closest to us down there, and Luis has a smile, too, so I'm thinking you're right. Luis Bernardo, who I think has made friends with everyone in this city.
Yep.
And in every visiting city in the IBL.
Yep.
Talk about a guy who just loves being around baseball.
And we love having him here.
Absolutely. At Martinez.
Wow.
Quick strikeout on Nichols swinging. That'll give the Panthers a little bit of momentum as they'll head to the top of the 6th when we return with the Cardinals leading 9-6 Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
I see your help wanted sign.
Watching movies. The other is addicted to opening booster packs.
And you can watch both of them on Cable 14.
Are you a card shark or a movie buff? Or both? Now why not check out Breaking Pack every Monday at 8:30 p.m. and Hammer Day 20 every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. starring yours truly, Steven Sobot, available only on Cable 14.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. Well, the doctor is out as Stephen Hospital. No, he has come back out for a 3rd inning of work.
Oh, jeez.
Umpire Ray Brownlee standing out to the left of our broadcast position, just checking to see if he's okay.
Yep.
Stepping up to the plate, right field.
As
he's got some new hardware on his hand. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So Stephen Hospital continuing on, and Neil, I believe this is the longest appearance now of his IBL career.
I'm pretty sure of it. Like I've only seen him ever go 1 or 2, maybe 1.5 even. Coming usually, to bail somebody else out.
Yeah, you and I, when we saw the 7th, thought it was main prize coming out, but it's
still Hospital.
Stephen Hospital staying in. So can the doctor continue what has been a dominant outing so far in his behalf? And that could really set the Cardinals well as Penalve sends this one high. And, Pena and Nickel. And that's what you were talking about, Neil. We've had so many cross-ups tonight as the teams defensively just not communicating on either side.
Stepping up to the plate, the beer batter, catcher number 48.
And a ball that should have been an easy out.
Gives the Panthers some life here in the 6th.
Oh, that's not what you want to see.
No. And of course, they got closer and closer together. One of them had to bail out of the way here, so.
And Junior Ibarra setting to bunt. So the Panthers would like to move Penalve along and try to cut into this Cardinals lead. It's been a bit since they've had the leadoff runner on in the inning. That goes back to the bottom of the top of the 3rd was the last time they had the leadoff runner on.
Yep.
Panthers had leadoff runner on, home run to lead off the ball game. Then again in the 2nd and in the 3rd, but have not in the 4th or 5th. And that pitch is going to get past Vittini, and up to second goes Penalve, and that likely removes the bunt.
I'll definitely take the bunt away here, but actually maybe they put it back on and just try to get him to third
Get
base
him over
with
to
one
third.
away. But Vittini saw the runner break, so he lost focus on the baseball and it scooted off to his right.
Being credited as a stolen base to Penalve. And that was good eye on that one, Neil and Nate as well, that Penalve was already off to second, and that's what drew the eyes of Vittini away from the ball. Foul will make it 2-2.
As the fans are, little Bronx cheer here for Ibarra.
Hospital delivers. Ibarra sends it into left, but Pena's there. One away.
No discount for you.
And the fans who are hanging tough here tonight at Bernie Arbor Stadium.
They've definitely had a few celebratory lagger sheds.
Absolutely. Well, you can't blame them. It is awful tasty.
I'll take your word for it.
As Yosuke Fuji will step in. Swinging through, Fuji 0-1. So after that wacky single to open up the inning, Hospital would love to strand Penalve at second if he could. And Penalve thought about taking off, and count will run 1-1. Penalve doing now what Carlos Dominguez was doing earlier and taking the pitcher's eyes away and taking the catcher's attention. Hospital delivers that one into the dirt. It'll run 2-1.
Great stop by Vittini on that one. Nothing I have to ask Ray between innings. What happened on that pitch?
Yeah, it would be interesting to get his thoughts on that. As Stephen Hospital up to 36 pitches in his appearance, 25 of them strikes. 26 of them strikes.
A big swing and a whiff on that one.
That's Fuji, 2-2. Fuji struck out back in the first inning. Hospital looking to repeat the feat, and that's going to run at full 3-2. Couldn't tempt Fuji to swing to the outside. Full count, one away. Penalve on second.
Shout out to Dan Dominguez updating on my Facebook Messenger. Little note as far as the Welland and London ball game. Jackfish had runners at second and third in the 8th inning, but walked away empty-handed with nobody away.
Ooh!
Still 1-0 Majors.
Stephen Hospital is dealing. 3 strikeouts now in the appearance for Hospital. 1 out away from stranding a runner in scoring position.
That one just misses inside.
Charlie Towers the man up. And
he's been a tough out tonight.
Yeah, Towers with 2 singles in the ball game, both of those coming on first pitches of an at-bat. Also grounded into the somewhat odd 6-5. And Towers again trying to shoot it out. Oh, nice play on the bounce by Reyes Cruz. And Stephen Hospital has a 3rd clean inning worked.
Little fist pump from the first baseman. He comes off the hand. I think it's Vittini with a little fist pump as well. Likely, I would think it's probably his last inning, but we'll see here.
Yeah, there's been some work down in the bullpen. Looks like Jacob Gadget.
Yeah, he's getting hugs as well, so I'm thinking he's done.
The doctor
Yeah,
is
he's
out.
getting the hug, and the doctor's done for the night.
And the doctor goes 3 full, giving up 2 hits and striking out 3 in the process. Tremendous outing for Stephen Hospital.
Good stand to get the win now.
He's certainly earned the opportunity for that. As we'll take a look at our friends from Rawlings.
My first professional glove, that's the one I remember the most. When I was coming up, even though it wasn't that long ago, having your name on a glove was a big deal.
I'm still looking forward to the night we can get the Rawlings guys up here and take a look at some of the wares.
Well, exactly. Wow.
So one of the reasons that we are so excited to have baseball games presented in closed captioning is so that families with members that are hard of hearing, including my mom, are able to, and you see the signing happening there, are able to enjoy that, and family with the Hamilton Cardinals.
Brendan Daly's family.
Brendan Daly's family being able to enjoy the games because they are in closed captioning. It's his dad enjoying the lager shed.
Yeah, there we go.
On the end of the line there.
We worked in the perfect sponsor segue.
And yeah, Cable 14 offering closed captioning all the way to Australia where they're able to see it. And you see the signing.
Yeah.
And now I know a little bit of sign language from my mom.
Yep.
It is so difficult to be able to do it at that speed fluently.
Jenny is the same way. Like, it's great because, like, when again, we have autistic children in our family, and Gray, when she was younger, would only sign. So Jenny learned and everything else, and over the years and everything else, even you'll see Grady and Jenny have conversations at the table. I'm like going, what just happened? It's just like it's so fast.
Well, it's one of the things that my mom has been teaching my sons is signing, and now, you know, instead of getting overly frustrated and crying when they're looking for something, they'll sign to us.
Yeah.
And it's really cool as Carlos Dominguez flares this one into left field, and Dominguez is 4 for 4.
4 for 4 tonight. It's going to make that poor guy who's got to decide on player of the week a little more difficult as far as this guy goes. I feel bad for that guy. Oh, wait a minute.
Nico Kakados will step in.
I thought last week was bad. Jeez. You had the Jackfish with their offensive explosions and going, okay, can you really list 4 of them as honorable mentions? Came close.
Yeah, how far can you go down the list?
Yeah.
Kakados looking for the bunt to just move it along, and that'll be strike one as it tap back to Ibarra.
Dominguez was on the fly as soon as that pitch left his hand.
I think that's the only way he knows how to do it.
Yeah. It's only one speed, and it's all fast.
I'd say Carlos Dominguez has gotten comfortable quickly.
Yeah. Well, he sort of stole home Saturday night.
Yes, he did. At least that's how it was credited anyway.
Yeah, well, he did steal it because they got the runner at second base in the rundown.
Yeah, Dominguez plays with absolutely no fear. He's just going.
Yep.
It is a new pitcher on the hill as well for the Panthers.
Nico Kairos. Well, I always forget pitches as well.
And so I was checking my scorecard really quickly because I did not have him listed as a pitcher coming in.
Nope.
One of the beauties of the IBL is Dominguez on the run again. Got him that time.
Dominguez not happy with that one. He's trying to plead his case, but the umpire's already gone back to first.
Junior Ibarra, tough guy to steal against.
Yep.
And now 1-2 the count to Kakados. Take another look. Tag on at second.
Ooh. Okay, now he's out.
Yeah, got him on the second.
Yeah.
I think he was ruled out on the first one, though.
Yeah.
Which,
I don't know.
Tough one.
Umpire having to come across from first base too in a two-man system too, so it's not exactly the easiest position to be in.
No, it is not. Kikatos flares that one, and Charlie Towers is suddenly the busiest man in the inning. 2 away. And that'll bring Yoki Pena back up.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 12, Yoki Pena.
Pena, who has had a bit of an odd night. He actually has 2 RBIs without recording a hit.
Yep. Sacrifice fly and a fielder's choice. And a strikeout.
I mean, if you're Yoki Pena, you'll take the RBIs.
I got to find the name of this song because I want to hear the whole song now because we only hear a little snippet.
It sounds like it might be a party tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure what he's saying. Like, he could be saying I'm making sausages and making pasta or whatever, but, you know.
It does sound something like it's a grinder and, yeah. Or potentially being from the Dominican when I was there, we went to, like, a vanilla farm. They're making coffee. Best coffee I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
So it could be something about the coffee, maybe, with the grinding.
Just keep that lower because, you know, Jenny loves coffee, so. Next year you're going to have that in her head.
Oh, I can tell you, Samana in the take the ride over to Playa Rincon, one of the nicest beaches in the world.
The problem is we're busy in the summer, and that's the only time Jenny could go.
Oh, I got you. I don't know if you want to go in the summer.
No, but it's probably 10 times worse. We thought the humidity's bad here. We would just like melt.
Oof.
We'd be melted as soon as we got off the plane.
I made them. So it was the first time I had ever been south of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And I fell asleep in a chair on the beach.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that was not good. Pena rips that one through the infield. And it's a runner on with 2 outs on the single. There's the hit for Pena.
Yeah, we are long overdue for a vacation, so. My work keeps reminding me of that. But I'm like, you're really going to let me take a couple of weeks off? I don't think you are. So, like, don't entice that because one of these days it's going to happen and you guys are not going to get a hold of me because I'm going to leave the phone in the drawer.
Well, we haven't been in a position to take a vacation, obviously, with the two
exactly.
2 newest editions. But we will get back to that. The only problem is I have to time it just right because my season, depending on how good the Bulldogs are, can go right to the end of May.
Exactly. Like, I fully expected you guys to be playing into May this year, and I'm going, okay, I might be calling these school games by myself.
I make no promises for next year. I might be in Kelowna. There is.
I hope you are, sir. Just no offense.
There is a possibility.
Because I think the team in green has won enough of them, so it's time for somebody else.
Yeah. Well, there might be some people not so happy with us if we win a third since 2018, but General Manager Spencer Hyman certainly has us looking pretty good. As Kairos delivers, now be fouled back into the mesh.
And I think with your roster and everything else, those guys they got a good taste of it. And then when he ran into Oshawa, it was just like, okay, yeah, we're not quite there. We got some injuries and everything else.
Well, that was the key. Up 2-0, and then you lose 71 goals.
Yeah, well, that doesn't help.
No, it did not. Nick Lardis was the true X factor.
It'd be like losing Tom Brady, the second half of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. So downstairs,
yes,
are in the truck, our Jonathan Friedman, our station manager, our general manager.
Yes.
He's the basketball guy. And we're coming up with the NBA Finals right down to the wire. Oklahoma City and Indiana.
Yep.
Who are you going with?
Well, if I don't say Indiana, I think Ankit, who I work with every day, would be probably mad at me. So I'm going to have to go Indiana here as far as everything else. Although I think OKC would be okay too. But I think we just want to see Indiana because they haven't won in quite some time, if ever.
I know there's a lot of people as Jane Brown's going to go down swinging, and that will put a close to the 6th inning, that are feeling a sense of loyalty as Raptors fans up north to Pascal Siakam, but SGA. That, to me, I said X Factor for a guy that was wearing 16 in black and gold, while SGA is the X Factor in that series. I'm going OKC.
Yeah.
We got to get Jono, if you can hop into my ear, let me know who you're going with there. OKC.
Okay, yeah.
OKC.
All right.
And we're getting reminded downstairs as well as we're talking about the NBA Finals. I'll be eating some of this while I'm watching the NBA Finals. Our friends at Little Caesars, who feed the beast that is Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. Our friends at 280 Queenston Road doing the trick for us.
Yeah, they are.
Great pizza, great crazy bread, the stuffed crazy bread. Hello there.
I think that might be the destination on the way home Sunday afternoon.
Have you had the stuffed crazy crust?
I have not yet, no.
It's a problem.
The children will be insisting on that now. Thanks, Reed.
Sorry. Yeah, it's when they have that available, it is a problem.
Yeah. I'm just going to tell them right now. I'm not going to guarantee it's going to be a lot of pizza on the way back because you guys aren't here, so we're going to eat it on the way home. Jenny and I are going to, we're going to get first dibs. So, you're on your own. You want to come to Hamilton and hang out with us, by all means, and, be more pizza to go around.
That stuffed crazy crust isn't making it back, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, we can't thank Little Caesars enough for being such a big part of this for us. Our crew is incredible, and they do it as volunteers. So Little Caesars stepping up to allow us to have them here because our crew.
Well, second to none.
Anyone, anywhere, I'll put them up against. I've worked
everywhere else in this league, and they're like going, you guys are so awesome in Hamilton. Like, you don't have to remind me twice.
Yeah,
you don't.
Worked at Cable 14 for a decade and a half, and I've always just been amazed by what our crews can do to make our broadcasts. I always said in the times with the Hamilton Bulldogs that we looked as good or better than the national broadcasts that would come in.
Yeah.
And I think our baseball broadcasts are right there as well.
Oh, no, exactly. Like, you look at the people and everything else, the people that watch. Look where people are watching these games from.
Exactly. Around the world, Australia, New Zealand. I mean, you never know where we're going to get a message from during these ball games.
Yeah.
As Klaus Appelvich comes in with Jacob Gadzik on the hill, and Gadzik a big re-addition for this Cardinals team.
We need to find a Friday Night Baseball Twitter handle or something so that people can, the fans can interact with us.
Oh, that would be fun.
Hey, John, can we get on that? We'll get a Cable 14 one or something that we can use.
A Q&A on Friday Night Baseball? We got to put that together. And once we get John on it, we know it's going to be bigger and better than we would have thought of.
Oh, there we go.
Luis Bernardo is the man hosting Friday Night Baseball's Q&A. That'd be fun.
He knows this now. He's picking up a phone. Who's he calling now?
Yeah, Luis is looking back like, wait a minute, what am I getting signed up for here?
They don't have us on down there, do they?
You wonder sometimes. Salazzo from third over to Kakatos, and it's one away. As is not unexpected, we saw Jacob Gadzik have a little bit of a bumpy road in his return to the lineup for the Cardinals, but you know that with his talent, it was just a matter of time for him to
figure it out. And just get feeling comfortable again here on this mound.
Comes into the game, 2 innings pitched, just the 1 earned run, 1 walk.
Yeah.
So he very quickly shook off the rust. As A.J. Carosis will step in.
See if C14's Friday nights or something available, or Fridays or something. C14 Fridays. C14 Sports Fry or something. I don't know. Find a handle. Pick one.
Pick one. Pick. You doing a Magic or pick a card? Any card.
Yeah. Find a handle.
Gadzik delivers. Carosis sends it deep but foul. And he'll fall behind 0-2 to get
We're getting
Jacob
silence. I'm thinking he's definitely working on it right now.
The wheels are turning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't have the luxury like everybody else does in the league. They're on YouTube and everything else, so they have the opportunity where fans can ask questions and just hang out in the chat.
As Gadzik will have the look in, winding and delivering, and that one 1-2. Oh, yeah, we can very, very easily get to that level with a Q&A in the ball game.
Yep.
With you and I up here, there's going to be all kinds of wacky questions.
Oh, I know.
Carosis swings through. Gadzik with the strikeout.
I know Dan Dominguez will just be chomping at the bit to throw a stumper my way.
Speaking of stumpers, you remember the show Stump the Schwab?
Yep.
I had it on YouTube then. I was just watching a random episode, and there was like 4 hockey questions in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I nailed all 4 of them, and Celine just looked at me and went, "Oh, you've seen this one before? Probably not in 20 years."
Yeah. Well, you remember Reach for the Top back in high school?
Oh, yeah.
To this day, Mr. Dunsmore was always mad that he kept me out of that semifinal thing when we were actually on the TV things. He's like going, because then they threw all these sports questions. He was like, the 4 people on the thing were like going, oh, man, we're so screwed. If Neil was in here, we'd be banging him off. We'd be winning with this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one, the first round where they'd have, 15 potential answers, and they went rotisserie to answer it all.
Yep.
I think it was NHLers that have over 1,300 points, and I
banged them off like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Because that's something right up your alley, and it was just like, there's no activity in either bullpen right now. Well, actually, there is a little bit of activity in the Cardinals bullpen. Somebody is getting loose.
Casey Boye-Howard.
Yep.
And you can recognize him immediately with the font on the jersey.
Yeah, because it's so small compared to everybody else. I feel like you were trying to put my last name on one of these things. I'd be happy with Neil S, though, or just, we probably have to go with Jenny S because, we're... And there's the bullpen.
That's Mr. Howard to you.
Yes. He'll be enjoying his summer vacation very soon.
He's probably counting them down at this point.
Oh, I guarantee they are if it's anything like Jenny's school.
As Gadget delivers that one, it'll be tap back foul. Should also mention these Hamilton Redbirds jerseys that we've been seeing consistently on Fridays.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So I found out how this is determined anyways. It's the starting pitcher that gets to pick the jerseys.
That's a great way to do it.
Yeah. That's why they wore the gray ones yesterday, because Boone had never worn it.
As Lawson flares this one, Yoki Pena covers the ground and has it. And through the top of the 7th inning, the Cardinals retain the 9-6 lead. I love that idea of having the starting pitcher decide the jerseys.
Yep.
That is a great way to go.
And of course, you got Mr. Boone going out into the park where a lot of starting pitchers don't want to go pitch, but he goes out there and he says, okay, whatever. He loves pitching there. He always has.
He just doesn't get...
No.
Nothing flusters him.
Yeah, he's lost there before, but he's also had some brilliant performances there. Last night being one of them.
Well, and brilliant performances and Owen Boone kind of go hand in hand. Yeah. The only downside of him pitching last night is we didn't get Mr. Friday Night here tonight.
No, exactly, and it might be the same kind of state.
As we take a look at our crew that is sticking with us tonight, Nicole downstairs, she's right next to the dugout. She is in the danger zone on Friday Night Baseball.
The wireless
mound shots that you've seen tonight, Alistair and Hassan getting it done.
But they are, and they're waving at us.
Talk about being in the danger zone. They're the ones that go out and they're doing the circular on the pitchers. Did he just stick his tongue out?
He probably did. And, of course, there's Lauren, who's got to keep us in tow here as far as everything.
The most unfortunate person in the ballpark is Lauren, who is stuck up here with us.
Yeah.
She deserves all the shout-outs in the world for doing the job up in the press box. And, the other thing is we can't even get her off her game either.
No, we've tried twice already. It's just not happening.
And Jeff is way out there.
Hey, Jeff.
In center field. Can Jeff hear us? Can he wave? Jeff, hey.
Hey, I guess he can.
And who we got down on the Kitchener side? Carmen, backside to the Kitchener dugout again. Danger zone. Look at that concentration.
Yep.
This crew is just spectacular. As Amy and
way
Gabe,
up there.
Yeah, again, way up in the silver stands. Hello. As Amy and Gabe taking care of it for us, way up in the top. And this crew does things that, you so often forget working on these broadcasts. Community cable, because this is so far above and beyond anything that you would have seen 20 years ago.
No question.
What they can produce for us on Friday Night Baseball, and what Cable 14 does regularly, just brilliant.
Oh, exactly. And, it's just we when I came in here 3 years ago and everything else, and I wasn't expecting this, I figured, okay, I'll probably do a couple games and then that'll be it. Little did I know. Now it's home. It's home.
And we've got a shout out for the grade 5s of St. Thomas Apostle, I believe.
Yeah.
Hello to the grade 5s. Thank you guys for sticking with us on Friday Night Baseball. Now, wait a minute. What age is that?
That is 10.
It's 20 after 10.
11.
Should,
10
should they still be up with us?
It's Friday night.
It's Friday night, okay.
They got one more week of school, so just let it go. And they're all hyped up on freezies. Come on.
Are they the ones eating the freezies?
Oh, probably.
I got you. Salazzo rips that one into foul territory, and that's going to be out of the ballpark.
I know my daughter Sam, if she would have cleaned her room, would have been here tonight, but, she didn't do that, so Mom said no. She's at home. Of course, she was happy as the kid, happiest kid leaving the ballpark last week. Ayami Sato in the parking lot. Yeah, she got to meet her teacher's husband, too.
Yeah, that was a weird 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, the world gets smaller and smaller.
Our director, Travis Blackwell, downstairs, and
I didn't even think of it. And then I got told when I get in the car, I'm like, what, are you kidding me? Like, how's that work?
Yeah, you sent me that picture with Amy Sato, and that's so cool.
I sent it back to her as a message and I tried my best in Japanese to thank her for taking the time and everything else. She made my daughter's night and everything else, and she went back to the school on Monday and told her friends and everything else. And she was flabbergasted by it.
I was hoping we were going to see Sato pitch, but it wasn't really the opportunity for it.
But she warmed up in the bullpen, and she came down, and then when Rodney came in, she raced down the bullpen because she wanted to get the front row seat.
Oh, yeah, that was cool. Watching Ayami Sato run down to get into position to be able to watch Fernando Rodney on the hill.
Yeah.
It's special moments like that.
Yeah.
3-2, the count to Salazzo, and...
Johnny, let's consider how much time we're in the game here.
Yeah.
And, even the umpires are realizing, both got to play tomorrow, guys. And these umpires, I'm sure, are probably working an afternoon game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Jonathan Salazzo on that one, but it might not be the spot to argue it as Fatini fouls that one off.
Right off the mask that time.
Take another look.
You can't tell from here because the shortstop doing a good job of being a decoy.
I think Junior Ibarra may have bought that one.
Yeah, he's really good at his job.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Yes.
If I'm going to war, I definitely want him in the war room.
Yeah, he knows how to do it and knows what it takes to get strikes for his pitcher. As you get a good look there at the fourth pitcher of the ball game, I believe, for the Panthers.
Yep.
And I thought coming back out it was still an 8, but that's
a 9.
Yeah, that is Caleb Kahn Plant, I believe.
Yep. Another one of these guys that can pitch and play the outfield as well.
So the Panthers with a lot of two-way players and maybe not taxing some of their regular bullpen arms.
So we're into the bottom of the ninth in Welland and London in a 1-1 tie. Jack Fish scoring around the top half of the ninth inning to extend that one. Majors with another opportunity to walk another one off here.
Fatini sees this to 2-2.
And they have the bases loaded right now.
So as we keep one eye on that one, Vittini sends this one up the elevator shaft. 3 Panthers charging, and
nobody comes up with it because, again, it's just words seem hard tonight for everybody.
I cannot understand what has gone on with communication in the ballgame.
Nobody, no hand signals, there's nothing.
Somebody say something. Say something.
Like the fans made more noise.
Klaus Applovich ended up going down to the
Well, he was trying
turf.
to bail it away.
Trying to get something. And Whoa! Vittini saw that one up and in. 3-2. Dangerous neighborhood there from Caleb Kahn.
Yeah, like both catchers almost wearing it, and that is this at bat.
Yeah, it's been an interesting evening thus far. As Caleb Kane-Plant delivered that one on the bounce, and July Vittini's going to have the walk down to first base.
1-0 walk here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cardinals looking for another insurance run here.
Second baseman number 25, Tommy Reyes-Cruz.
And Tommy Reyes-Cruz will be the batter. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. A strikeout and a pop-up.
I'm wondering if we're actually going to see Casey Howard come into this ball game, or if that was just a bullpen.
It might just be a bullpen because he might be the Sunday starter at this pace.
Good point.
Because you figure Freyas Adamas is going to go tomorrow. I'm not sure who would be the next logical starter on a Sunday if 4-4.
Yeah. That's a great question.
Yeah. But I'm not sure what the answer is. I'm going to have to ask Piano on the way out.
As Caleb Kane-Plant will deliver, and...
Well, or if Matt wants to answer in here, that helps too.
Cruz fouls it back. There's that interactive broadcast again.
Yep. Paging Mr. Creedy. Paging Mr. Creedy.
Who would be the... We've seen Caleb Sorosky last night. I mean, whether he took like a start or an opener's role for an inning or two. That's if he doesn't end up getting used tomorrow.
Well, exactly. It's just going to be like, okay, well, what's available?
Could Logan Workington maybe take 2 or 3 innings to start a ball game?
Yeah, well, again, it's not like they don't have options. It's just a matter of who's going to be feeling more comfortable, especially when they've been in those roles. Corbin Peters went last night, too, so maybe he might be the option, but...
Yeah, we've seen Peters used as a starter before. It seemed like they were intent on using him as the 8th inning guy on this season, although he's definitely not going in this ball game.
Nope. He pitched last night.
And he's standing up with a hoodie on right now. July Vittini's off to second, and there's not even going to be a throw for that one.
That's a defensive indifference.
3-1 the count.
Of course, Josh sent me the walk-up for for Yoki's number, so yeah, we're definitely going to...
That was fast.
That was fast. We're going to grab that on the way home and listen to that one and probably drive Jenny up the wall with it by 3 o'clock the afternoon tomorrow.
Reyes-Cruz shoots that through the infield. Vittini's going to turn third on his horse around. 10-6 Cardinals.
Tommy Reyes-Cruz once again doing what is asked of him here and comes through in a big way. The 4th insurance run of the ball game.
Now that also currently takes it out of being a save situation.
That it does.
So I don't know if there was a plan for him, but I don't think we'll see Mr. Rodney.
I don't think we'll see 56 tonight, no. He might have writer's cramp after all the autographs, too. He was signing before the game, too.
So that leaves open the question, does Jacob Gadget go?
Might as well let him go another inning or two.
As Tyler Duncan will flare this one. I wouldn't have thought coming in that we'd see Stephen Hospital pitch 3. So does Jacob Gadget get a couple innings? I saw Chris Boato run down to the bullpen earlier. Does Chris Boato get into this ball game?
Well, there's nobody throwing now. They're just kind of, working on their arm movements and leg movements now.
Yeah, I mean, right now I would say it's pretty safe that Jacob Gadget's coming out for the 8th. Strike 2, to Tyler Duncan. Reyes-Cruz over at first. Cardinals rallied from 5-1 down at the middle of the 2nd inning. A 6-run bottom of 2. And then it's been singles in 3 separate innings since as Duncan sends this one into the Silver Seats foul.
Top of the 10th inning in London. Cobra Chickens won. Jackfish won.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Majors at the bases loaded in the 9th inning. Got away. Couldn't get one home.
Oh, and didn't they had Welland had 2nd and 3rd earlier and couldn't deliver.
Tight ball game.
There's some pitchers with ice in their veins in that one.
Have to be watching that one tomorrow morning.
Game plan will run that to 1 and 2. I'll probably be watching the Goofy movie.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Great movie.
How many times have you seen it this week?
4.
My nephews were huge in the night at the museum.
I think we'll get there.
Yeah, but it was just like for weeks on end. Hey, Dum Dum, give me Gum Gum.
So Tyler Duncan goes down on strikes.
Once you see it, you'll know.
That'll bring Brandon Nickel in. I don't know if you remember in the Goofy movie when they're at the Possum Park.
Yeah.
And there is somebody up in the bullpen now for Kitchener Panthers.
Side armor.
Yeah, wearing number 0. And let's see if I can quickly catch who that is. As Nickel hammers this into left field, back to the wall. It'll bounce off the wall. Reyes Cruz up to third. Nichols into second with the standing double.
Brandon Nickel just adding to his night here. A double to go with the home run.
Brandon Nickel making an impact since arriving in the IBL. And Carlos Dominguez, who's 4 for 4, will step in.
This guy's hurt them all night.
I don't have a number 0 on the game card.
Maybe somebody's wearing the wrong number, which is quite possible.
I'm assuming that's what we're dealing with.
Unless
Carlos Dominguez sends this deep into left center field to the track, and that is going to take away Dominguez's perfect night.
He was thinking triple all the way on that one.
He absolutely was.
10-6 for your Cardinals as we head to the top.
Fly out to the center fielder. We're through 7 innings.
And
the
knock,
Cardinals with a 10-6 lead as we take a look into the truck, and we hit the break on Cable 14.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Rave, and you're watching Ensemble. We have a special guest. We got Fast Break.
Get ready. Cradle is a hand-me-down. Rocking, cheering, so body steady. Didn't paint the walls, 'cause the walls were painted yellow.
Be sure to tune in to the next episode of A Little Market Insight, where we are going to be sitting down with Ryan Wilson from Garden City Environmental, talking all about mold and asbestos removal. Then we're going on the road to EMCO, where we're going to be talking all about plumbing fixtures. And then lastly, we are joined in studio by Derek Mount from Nest and Rest Property Management. So be sure to tune in to this next episode. You can catch it on Cable 14 and cable14.com.
It's the top of the 8th inning as we welcome you back to Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. Bernie R. Bird. And, whoa, he almost didn't get the head through the gate.
Uh-oh. He almost had an unfortunate feather accident.
Somebody check on Bernie. Make sure all the feathers are still where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Jacob Gadjic is going to head back out for his second inning of work.
If he can go through, if he can get through this inning and go out there for the 9th, he could qualify for the save because he came in the 7th
3
inning.
inning, yeah. And maybe that's the plan for Gadjic the rest of the way, because they're still...
They're just down there stretching. They're lounging down there now. So.
I don't know if I'd call that stretching. Somebody's just laying in the grass out there.
Maybe they fell asleep. Past their bedtime.
Tanner Rempel's here.
Hey, there he is. He must be feeling better, which is good.
The man who looked like he took a bodybuilding in the offseason.
Oh, man. I showed you the picture before. It was just like whenever that interview was shot, it had to be sometime early last spring.
I mean, my goodness. He showed up looking like he should have been playing linebacker.
Well, exactly. Like, I asked him in the interview, I was like, what happened? Like, did you just run in the buff the stuff here or what? What's going on?
Well,
did you read the Pumping Iron with Arnold a little too often or something?
If he hits a walk-off now, he's got to do the buff dance.
Yeah. That was a great interview. We had a lot of fun.
How could it not be with Tanner Rempel? The guy is just, he's excitement, he's electricity. He's just a lot of fun. 1 and 2, the count as Gadjic is throwing smoke at Osawa to open up the at-bat.
We got a chance to talk about his dad and what his dad done as far as everything else goes. There's working in the film industry, now teaching, helping encourage the next generation of filmmakers.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Osawa's going to send this one up the elevator shaft. Backing up is Reyes, Cruz, Dominguez charges. Dominguez has it. One away.
Stepping up to the plate, the shortstop, number 20, Jordan Mandalay.
As Jordan Mandalay will step in. Boy, you can see in the scorebook where it really settled down for the Cardinals.
Yeah, well, exactly. You go from this big clump of mess in the first 4 innings or so, and then it's like, oh, it's back to normal.
This is more what we're used to seeing.
Yes.
And whoa, Mandalay almost swung out of his shoes. These two teams are going to be sick of each other by the end of tomorrow.
Exactly. It's just going to be like, okay, we're not playing each other for when? Till when? Okay, good. See you at the All-Star game.
Can you imagine if there's a playoff series between these two teams?
Man,
We see each other in a 3-game series in the middle of the year.
Yep.
And not able to pull the bunt back was Mandalay.
And again, it was the third one, which is because it was a rainout.
Yeah.
It wasn't planned. It's just how it fit into both teams' schedules. So it's like, okay, it just happened to be that way. Whereas the Chatham-Kent-Barrie series was actually set up as a 3-game series because Barrie doesn't want to have to make 2 trips all the way up to Chatham-Kent. But
that makes sense.
They may send poor Chatham-Kent to Barrie on a Thursday night.
That doesn't make as much sense.
So, we have to – maybe I need to nudge Dom next year and say, hey, you need really to sit down with Herbie and somebody else and, plead your case a little more because you guys have got the worst schedule going.
As Jacob Gadget will wind and deliver and didn't get that call. 1-2.
Makes sense for you guys to play London on a Tuesday night. That's less travel. Makes perfect sense. Brantford's maybe a stretch on a Tuesday, but Barrie on a Thursday? No.
We got the Bulldogs schedule, and as the traveling broadcaster, I had a couple of questions for Herbie. As this one back up the middle. Oh, Gadget. A little bit of self-preservation.
And that's not me picking on Herbie because I don't want his job. I'm not volunteering to help with the schedule.
No. And you know what? I've talked to Herb many a time. He's done an incredible job in the OHL running off-ice officials and the official records and scorekeeping and everything that Herb does. He's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
I love talking. I've always enjoyed when I get a phone call from Herb. I just saw one where it's like, we're home on Family Day weekend for 2 games, the 13th and the 14th. Then we got to go to Kingston for the Monday. So it's
no.
Yeah, home for game on the 13th, game on Valentine's Day, travel on the 15th, playing Kingston on the 16th, divorced on the Tuesday. Yeah.
Alimony payment on Thursday, yeah.
So it's like, wait a minute.
Are your kids going to be putting your face on T-shirts? Have you seen my dad?
Yeah, I'll be under the deck by the time next off season rolls around.
Celine's probably rolling her head down right now, going, yeah, okay.
Why,
these two are not good together.
Why are you involving me again?
These two should not be together. Yeah.
I feel like Jenny and Celine would get along really well.
They will. They would. Just they both be looking over. He said, "What?
Yeah. Why?
Be getting daggers from here.
You're involved in this insanity too. Yeah.
God, I missed this.
Makes the summers way more exciting.
It does.
Spinelli. 1-2 count from Gadget, and that one skipped off July Vittini's shin pad.
Catchers are wearing a lot of baseballs tonight.
An odd number tonight.
Like you're gonna have to ask these guys. Okay, where do you not have bruises tomorrow?
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more guys than just the pitchers carrying around
ice packs and everything else.
Well, I don't mean to go against our earlier thinking, but 56 is warming up down there.
Yeah, well, he hasn't pitched in a couple days. So.
Gadget will wind and deliver. Penalve on to second. Reyes Cruz to first. And they got out of it again. Jacob Gadget, a clean 2 innings. And with us reaching the middle of the 8th inning, Neil, the Cardinals a chance one more time to add on to this lead, but they can end this in the top of the 9th.
That they can.
And that would be, I think, a major positive after hitting the middle part. This part of the 2nd inning, down 5-1.
Exactly. In other seasons, you think the guys would have just thrown the towel in that point. It's okay, we're done. Let's just focus on tomorrow now. Let's go out there and everything else. But, yeah, we have a 0 on the mound here. So I'm guessing he's wearing the wrong number or the number fell off. Like, I know they've had some
And we'll take a look down to the bullpen, and there is the legend.
There he is, getting loose up again.
And Jacob Gadget is walking down to the bullpen, so I think
he's done. It's done. Yes.
We're going to see Fernando Rodney make his way in the top of the 9th inning.
He's going to go hang out with his boys down there.
Now, it could be that Fernando Rodney said, hey, I want to pitch tonight.
Well, exactly. And you're not going to say no to Fernando Rodney. So
you look at who has really stepped up for the Cardinals tonight. You look at Brandon Nickel, who is tremendous. Tyler Duncan, a couple RBIs. Jonathan Salazzo, you talk about doing everything. A couple real nice defensive plays. He's taken 2 walks, a single, a run scored.
Yep.
July Vittini's walked a couple of times. Tommy Reyes-Cruz as an RBI. Carlos Dominguez, the newcomer.
I know it's only 2 games into this little role here, but I think things are starting to come together in a big way right now.
And again, it's Andrew McNeil, we're being told, on the hill for the Kitchener Panthers.
Of course, his brother Owen plays as well, and he also pitches, so it could have been one of the 2 McNeil boys.
Cardinals are still missing the services of Tanner Rempel, who is recovering from illness, and obviously well enough at this point to be down there. And they did not dress Josh Williams tonight, who's been off to a really nice start out of the DH spot. Shows you the depth of this squad as well.
And it's also possible that Josh, might be working too. So
I thought I saw him, but maybe not.
And a new catcher as well.
So Junior Ibarra has come out of this ball game. And trying to get a look at who's catching. It might be 19, Ayad Ansari.
Which makes sense, because he is a catcher. Playing in the Pakistani national team, actually.
Well, that's a pretty neat background to step into the IBL with.
Yeah.
We're getting confirmation from up here as well. Ayad Ansari is the man doing the catching. So he'll step in for Junior Ibarra.
A lot of positives with this young man.
The first baseman, number 10, Nico Kikatos.
Jason McKay spoke of him highly as well from Welland, so that tells you something.
Sure does.
London Majors winning that one in the bottom of the 10th inning, 2-1.
Wow.
Majors the first team to beat the Jackfish twice this year.
Majors have something going.
Yeah, Roop. I'm gonna be texting Roop tomorrow morning. He's gonna laugh at me. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
he's singing the praises of these Cardinals too, though.
Well, I think you can see that the record does not show how good this team is at this point.
Yeah, they're still figuring things out.
And they're still trying to get the entire, and been through this with the Bulldogs, trying to get the entire lineup, all your chess pieces on the board at the same time.
Yeah.
As McNeil's pitch is going to run inside.
And that is very hard to do in various leagues.
Bulldogs did not have their entire roster healthy for a single game during the regular season. Once until game 1 of the playoffs, they had what would have been their quote-unquote best 20-man.
Yeah. Barry Baycats did that many, many times during those big championship runs.
And sometimes it's just about next man up. But even with that said, you at least want to get a look at what it could look like when you got everybody together. But for Chris Piano, what is your best lineup?
Kenny Sugi for the second night in a row is the game hero for the London Majors, and that with another single in the 10th inning.
Majors finding a way.
They are.
Full count to Nico Kikatos.
They are going to be tough to beat down the stretch and even going into the postseason when they've got Travis Keys has just got a ridiculously low ERA, and he doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, doesn't get a lot of credit, but he's been a great pitcher.
And Kikatos strikes out as McNeil. His first batter of the ball game.
That one
puts
goes
it
flat
away
into right field as he threw it down at first. Usually you go to third with those ones, but that's okay.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 12.
Maybe that's what threw the first baseman off. He's like, you're throwing it down here? Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, you go to third with that.
Wrong way, wrong way. Yoki Pena will step in.
At least I think you still go to third with that, don't you?
I would have thought. Maybe he thought the third baseman wasn't ready.
Or maybe he thought that he dropped the ball. That's why he threw it the first. But the umpire had called him out anyways, and Well, the batter went back into the batter's box anyways.
And I believe we're going to have a pinch hitter for Jaden Brown. Matt Hildebrandt is getting loose in the on-deck circle.
Man, if this guy ever connects with the baseball again, oh my goodness. Clear the trees. We're going to be looking for something a search party out there.
Oh, it's going to Burlington. Yeah, forget it.
Watching the highlights when he was with the Jackfish, being at that park last year and knowing where he hit it now, it's like, how the heck did he hit it that far?
Pena a little upset with himself, thought he could have turned that one into play. It'll be 0-2. Yeah, you just watch Hildebrandt swing a bat.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets a hold, goodbye.
Uh-huh. They better serve meals on that flight.
Yeah. And McNeil from that sidearm delivery just kind of throwing everybody off a little bit.
Yeah, well, they've been used to the over-the-top deliveries all night, so now it's just a different arm angle, different slot here. And
yeah, completely different from anything that's been seen so far. And that one won't come back over the plate. 2-2 the count. That bat in the hands of Matt Hildebrandt looks like a twig.
Yeah. It's like Ryan Rios up there in Toronto when they were describing him as a bat.
With that torpedo.
Yeah. It's not even fair for those guys to swing those things.
Ryan Rio doesn't even need a torpedo.
No,
he's just having fun.
Oh, yeah.
Full count to Yoelqui Pena.
That guy's off to a great start.
Yeah. As McNeil will wind and deliver, Pena puts it on the ground to second. Quickly on to Applovich at first, and it's 2 away. And that'll bring up the big fella.
He's coming out with the magic stick.
Pinch hitting for your Cardinals, number 48, Matt Hildebrandt.
Magic stick. It looks like a twig. I mean, look! Just look at the size of Matt Hildebrandt.
Look at the bat in his hand. It's like, yep.
That is a monster, a mountain of a man.
Look, he's just holding it with one hand.
Like you could easily see him playing defensive end.
Jeez.
If I'm McNeil, I think I want to keep this away from the strike zone as much as possible.
Way out there. Just don't even. If you put him on 4 pitches, you put him on 4 pitches. More out of respect or more out of curious what he's going to do with that baseball.
The only problem is Jonathan Salazzo behind him.
Yeah. Perhaps you have to rethink that then. But yeah, they're pitching him way out.
Trying to keep it outside.
Can't hurt me there too much, can he?
I don't know. If he decided to reach out, I think with a flick of his wrist, he could still.
Yeah. Got to watch this guy take batting practice.
Yeah. 3-0. And yeah, McNeil is he's trying to stay away from Hildebrandt's power. Can't blame him.
Nope.
And on the 3-0, got the outside edge for strike one.
You hear the bullpen cheering him on down there.
Yeah, he's looking to see if McNeil makes a mistake over the plate. Yeah. He thought about it right there.
He did.
Full count to Hildebrandt. Yeah, he's getting a lot of love from his teammates. Hildebrandt and Josh Williams will regularly serve as DHs for this team.
Both big guys.
Think about that in a playoff situation. You have one of those bats on your bench. Oh, McNeil worked him outside the hole at bat and then finally came back in And I think Hildebrand was just asking about one of those pitches on the edge, and very cordial conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
8 innings through, it's a 10-6 Hamilton Cardinals lead, and you have seen the shots from Cardinals Media Day. That, of course, is thanks to our friends at TS Media, Matt Gallant, Storm Harding, Justin Ishmael. They do an incredible job. TS Media providing all of that great content from Media Day, and you can see the Cardinals' next game here on Cable 14 at Bernie Arbor Stadium Sunday afternoon, June 22nd, 2 p.m. against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs in town on on Sunday afternoon. Come get your tickets on the Cardinals website and then come join us in person. But if you can't make it out, we'll have you on Cable 14. Game time is 2 p.m.
And here he is.
It's still just... I don't know if it's how you hear Josh do it and then you hear the music, but it's just, I don't know. It's still surreal.
One of the greatest relief pitchers of modern time, Fernando Rodney, a World Series champion. This is a guy who multiple major league teams went out to get when they wanted somebody to lock down their ninth inning.
We are the last game to finish on this evening. Final score in from Brantford is the 15-2 is your final. Maple Leafs victorious tonight. And 2-1 is the final in London at Labatt Park. Majors winning that one. So they edge closer to first place with the Jackfish.
It's going to be a chase. As we get to see Fernando Rodney look to close this one out. Not a save situation. Cardinals up by 4, but this is where Rodney has always made his living.
Yep.
You know, we talk about it, but how much of a thrill it's got to be for a lot of these batters. And
well, exactly.
How about this, Francois? He steps into the ball game in the 8th inning, and he's going to be the first man to face the legend.
Some of these guys were probably just like really, really young when Fernando was in his prime.
True. Is Fernando Rodney a Cooperstown guy for you?
I would think so, just because of the number of saves and everything else. But again, it's just like, how does he get in? As far as, because the ballot and everything else, he's on the ballot right now, but the classes that are coming through now in the next 4 or 5 years are going to make it really hard.
Yeah.
And, of course, you got to have a certain percentage to stay on the ballot, too, so.
And sorry on the ground. First pitch, Salazzo. Nice stab. Great delivery to Kakatos. One away. See, I agree, and I think at times we see in baseball the judgment moves too far one way. It goes from sometimes a little easy to get in to too hard to get in.
Yeah.
And Fernando Rodney, you look at, I don't think closers get enough love for Cooperstown.
No, they don't.
To begin with.
Closers don't get enough love in this league, never mind Cooperstown. So
yeah.
It's just like, but yeah, it's going to be a problem, and I don't know how you fix it at that on the ballot level either. Just again, it's going to probably come down to where it's going to be probably a veterans committee something when they're reevaluating the generations, the decades, whatever else. Okay, this guy, the best pitcher in that decade.
I think you got to put more power into the hands of the veterans committee.
Yeah.
As Fuji, just because we've seen some of the ballots of sports writers, and it's ridiculous.
Like, I know they're allowed to put 10 guys on that list, but again, it boils down to, okay, well, if I put this person on, does that take somebody else off this ballot that I want on here? Not this year, but a couple years down the road.
Or the people who, use it for one guy and they don't make any calculation on, can I keep a guy on longer if I it drives me a little crazy. I think the Hockey Hall of Fame has it a lot better in how they get guys in.
Mm-hmm.
Guys and girls now.
Yep.
Still a couple that I'd like to see in. I know controversial choice, but Tim Thomas would be on my list. Conn Smythe, 2 Vezinas, Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Best playoff run for a goaltender in history, .940 save percentage. As Rodney on the 1 and 2 to Fuji.
Again, it's just like, is there an actual mark where, it used to be 300 wins as far as the starting pitcher goes. Okay, if you got 300 wins, you're going to be pretty much a shoo-in. And then now you're going, because you're not going to see 300 game winners in Major League Baseball anymore. So what is the new standard as far as this goes? And then, okay, how do you apply this to closers? How do you apply this to relievers?
Yeah.
Like 327 saves, guys. Like, is that not the equivalent of wins?
I mean, Mike Timlin is never going to be in the conversation, but
no.
Dominant reliever in his time.
Yep.
I'm not saying he should be in Cooperstown. What I'm saying is there's no way to validly.
No, there's not, like, they don't have a standard for this stuff as far as closers go. Because again, back in the early days, the closer role didn't exist.
Yeah, and then you look at Aroldis Chapman.
Yep.
Kenley Jansen. Go through the list of great closers of the last 10 years, and could they at some point be, Mariano Rivera.
Yeah.
But there are guys who are in that name. Jonathan Papelbon.
Yep. Like, you can make a case for pretty much all those guys. There's a great punch-out by Rodney on that one.
Wow. And that's what I'm saying. If you're going to have a guy like Rivera in, and you should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, again, as far as the ballot this year and everything else goes, yeah, he was on it. But again, the guys that were in that class, too, like, how do you not?
Yeah. But if you want to make it its own wing, make a closers or relievers thing its own kind of wing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I'm just spitballing ideas.
Yeah, I know. We're just throwing spaghetti and hoping something sticks.
Yeah. As Charlie Towers, his two hits have both come on first pitches, and this one was a first pitch strike. Didn't get him that time.
Nope. Now he's having fun with them out there.
Yeah, down to their last out of the Panthers is Fernando Rodney, doing what he has done so incredibly well over the years. And you can see that stat line for Rodney has really started to tip back the other way as Towers flares that one foul. 1-2.
It looked like he should have been out of that game in London in the 10th inning, but unfortunately, an unfortunate error let the inning continue, and then Majors came back on that one. Got a no decision.
Well, you look at opening night against the Red Sox, may have them down to their last strike twice.
Yep, and Tim Holt gets that pitch.
The home run that. Oh, Rodney closes it out. Shoot the arrow.
That is another little Caesar strikeout for Hunter.
Fernando Rodney with 2 Ks to end this ball game. The legend does it again. And boy, Neil, try to pick a player of the game for the Cardinals tonight.
Well, I think you got to look at that right fielder out there because, he just had the big night as far as the numbers go. But, yeah, everybody in this lineup pretty much had a hand in this comeback and then taking this lead.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Duncan. It could be Nickel. Dominguez, I think, has got to be the clubhouse leader. It could be Stephen Hospital.
Yep.
Like, there's any number of ways you could go with it. But the Cardinals coming up with a 10-6 victory to take the first 2 of the 3-game set over the Kitchener Panthers. That is big for this group.
That it is. And, they just need to keep rolling into this weekend. They can't look ahead again. Like I said last night on the broadcast, you got to be a goldfish. You got to put this one on your head and go focus up again and go. You got to go play baseball tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Well, this one kind of feels a little hard to believe that we're going to have him downstairs at field level. We're going to be joined by the legend himself, Fernando Rodney. Fernando, congratulations on the win. An honor once again to see you take it home in the 9th inning. What was the feel like early on in this ball game when you guys were behind 5-1?
Thank you guys for inviting me. We feel good because we know we can come back and turn the scoreboard. Everybody on the same page here. We stay together all game long, and we talk about we have to do something, and we have a good piece of hit. The guy get in base. That's more important, and Dominguez drive a good line drive to third base line.
You said it, Carlos Dominguez, a big night, but on the pitching side, Stephen Hospital picks it up. Jacob Gadget with a couple of great innings to lead to you. How much fun is it working with these guys?
Oh, the bullpen do his job what it's supposed to do, and we in the same page. We work together. We all every day talking about that and feel great for the bullpen because we know the responsibility we have to keep the game in the line because we have a lot of chance to win the game.
The Dominican Republic is having such a big influence on baseball in Hamilton. What's it like for all you guys to be together here in Canada?
I feel the same. I feel the good fans come to push out to play good and win the game. I think when you see the fans come out, we have to try the best we can to get a win and everybody go safe home.
And Fernando, you opened this weekend with 2 wins. You got 2 more games to go. What's the mindset for the team? Is it just keep on pushing?
Yes, keep fighting. Yes, I know the season is still younger, but we have to take advantage. It's not bad team we play today, but we have to take advantage of that kind of team like that. They very aggressive and sometimes they try zone, so we know that and we talk about that in the bullpen. That's why we take advantage tonight.
Well, again, Fernando, it's been an absolute pleasure and an honor to call you so far as a Hamilton Cardinal. I was a major fan of yours all through your MLB career. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the time. And head on down and celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you, guys. Go Cardinal.
Fernando Rodney, the legend himself.
Wow.
Neil, that is something special that he'd put on the headset for us at the end of the ball game.
Exactly, and it's very, very, very much a good honor to see him back here and just having fun playing baseball and imparting that knowledge onto these younger guys. He's been in pretty much every situation imaginable on the mound here, and nothing phases him. So it's just they got to give you sponges this year.
He was talking about the bullpen doing its job, and he's got a big hand in that. These guys are picking it up, and they're picking up knowledge from him. But you look at Stephen Hospital. Logan Workington started it for the Pen. Hospital comes in with those 3 innings. Gadget follows it up. Then to Rodney. You didn't see a Corbin Peters tonight. You didn't see a Connor Corey tonight. You didn't see a Caleb Sorosky tonight. Some real dangerous weapons in that pen before you got to get to one of the greatest of all time.
Oh, exactly.
This is a really, really good group for the Cardinals.
They got a lot of depth this year, and everybody knows their role right now, so they're just going to have some fun with it, and they're going to try to go up there and a little bit of one up each other as they go out in the hill.
A big night for the Cardinals, a long night for the Cardinals, but the weekend not over. Kitchener again tomorrow at Jack Couch Park, a crazy place to play ball.
It
then
is.
Right back here Sunday for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Neil, it's always great to be alongside you, my friend.
I always have a lot of fun.
For my broadcast partner, Neil Srivastava, our entire Cable 14 crew, I'm Reed Duthie. The Cardinals, a big night, a 10-6 victory